What is up, Rumble? I see some people are waiting, already talking shit. Anyway, welcome to Raw is Law, everybody. I am your host, Berto, aka the Beaten Cheeks, the fucking troll, the biggest piece of shit that you will ever meet. But today, I'm changing some things around. I have a very special young man who I've been kind of wanted to talk to for a while, but I just been so busy. I know you guys been wanting some guests, and I got a really good one for you guys today. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop him up, and he's gonna introduce himself. As is, this is not a remember, this is not dating show. We're just gonna ask simple damn questions, and then we're gonna get to the thick of things. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. All right, break silence. A fucking patriot. I already have people fucking trolling me here.
Oh, of course.
Anyways, dude. What's up, man?
What's up?
Welcome
what's up?
to Raw is Law.
Dude, I'm excited to be here. It's gonna be a good night, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have a good time.
You're gonna have a good fucking time. You know why? Because you can be loose. You can say whatever you want, however you want. Even though you're like a very well-mannered, gentleman over here. You really are. Like, you're definitely not. You're like one of the cream of the crops kind of guys. You and I've had another guy. His name is Julius. Really well-spoken young man too. I think he's probably a little bit younger than me. You're what, 28, right?
Yeah, 28.
Yeah. So, anyways, go ahead and introduce us. Give us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and are you and your parents really close with each other? There we go.
Okay. That's a good question.
Like that?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, so my name is Mason Gregoire. I am 28 years old. I live out in California right now, sadly. But, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, but I'm going into Air Force Special Warfare. So there's a whole lot that goes into that. I'm sure we can talk about that later. But my parents and I have an incredible relationship. My parents are my role models. Healthiest relationship I've ever seen. I guess that's kind of where I get all of my my baseness when it comes to relationships.
Hell yeah, man.
Pisses a lot of people off.
Nah, bro, I love it. I
dude.
I absolutely love it. You Coomer is late. What a shock. Bitch, I'm not late. I'm right here. Oh god. Anyways, so I'm gonna tell you what. You can see the chat here. All right.
Oh yeah.
So all right. A little bit about me, Mason. I am 37 years young. I'm on the old spectrum, apparently, according to a lot of these 20-year-olds. But when they see me in person, they're like, "Are you sure you're 37?" I'm like, "Nah, no, I'm just fucking. I'm 27." No, but especially when I have my beard and mustache, I'm like a lot much older, man. I love the stash. My mom fucking hates it. So a little bit background about me. My mom's Honduran, so I can speak Spanish. And my real father, he's Brazilian, so I speak Portuguese. But I lived in Korea, and I learned how to speak a little Korean out there. Yeah. So I love the Korean culture, bro. The food there is top notch. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, I would love to visit.
Yeah, bro. So yeah, we can definitely talk about Korea in a minute. But so one thing about Rumble is due to the ethnicity background that I have, because my father is actually black.
Okay.
A lot of people don't see that, right? Because of the way I speak. I'm supposed to have some sort of Ebonics talk for me to get the N-word back. Yeah. I'm supposed to act ghetto and shit. I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm a nigger. I can say however the fuck I want. If you have a problem with it, you can come to me. So anyways, that's how my Rumble is. It's
immediately starting off with stuff that you could never get away with on YouTube.
You can say it if you're
if you have the past,
shade darker than me, apparently. I don't know.
Apparently, maybe the lighting doesn't help you.
Yeah, lighting doesn't help, especially when I have my other lights working. I look a lot lighter, but believe me. Anyways, so yeah, I'm also, I'm prior military. I definitely wanted to hit you up on that because I had a few folks come on that are prior. I like to have veterans as much as often. Retirees, separated guys, whatever, a little older than me. And we like to, shoot the shit on my channel. Like a few episodes ago, we had a great stream. I only want to do like a 2-hour stream. It ended up being damn near 4 hours.
Oh, really?
Just kicking it with these vets, dude. It was fun as shit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was fun, man. And and what I like to do, and like what we have like a disagreement on. One of them is a retired guy, and I tell him I tell people when they ask me about joining the military, I tell them don't even fucking think about it. Just go to trade school, be a blue collar worker is basically the same damn thing, except be in plumbing, welding, whatever it is. Master your craft, make that money, bro.
Yeah.
Don't don't follow these red pill fucking retards that are saying you have to be a millionaire, fuck 50 chicks type of shit. I don't I don't I don't give any prescriptions out or nothing like
No,
that.
no.
So me, just be your damn self and just be based in reality. That's it,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And
It's
also
simple.
when it comes, yeah, and then they're like, okay, what about the military? I'm like, well, when I joined, it was very like loose. For
Mm.
example, after my 2 years of training, we had, we had a really good camaraderie and where I was at. I was in an intelligence squadron, my first base, right? Like a real base before
Yeah.
we got deployed. It was a very deployable base, obviously, being in the career field I was in. And next thing you know, we were like good gaming everybody. Mind you, I need to tell you this first about me, Mason.
Okay. Tell me.
I used to be a fucking introvert. And I used to be a virgin when I was joining the military.
Okay. Okay.
And growing up in high school, I was like an all-star soccer player, but I was the only virgin.
Yeah.
Like no one knew I was a virgin because I was just that quiet kid. Still had a mouth on me only if you spoke to me and
Yeah.
wanted to talk some shit. But
Exactly.
right, but virgin and a half, bro. Like I was too scared of the
Yeah.
pussy, bro. And I tried to do it, but I was just so ugly. Not much has changed on that, but
But
I got a little bit better. I upgraded. I went from a 3 to a 5. No big deal.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, but but I never had that brotherly love. I grew up in a single mother home, by the way. So
Yeah. Okay.
I grew up very beta like, very
Mm.
feminized.
Dude, that's tough.
And
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about all that. That's why I asked you about your, if you and your parents are close,
Oh
right?
yeah, dude.
So
Yeah. I mean,
hold on, I'm
yeah. Go
almost
for it. Go
finished
for
here.
it.
And then I did not realize how beta like, how feminized I was because I used to get angry quite easily over the smallest shit ever, right? And typical behavior from single mother home kind of thing. It's not that
Yeah.
my mom wasn't bad. She it's just unfortunate part is she married a good man towards the end of my childhood,
Mm.
where I can see how great this guy was. And I was like, fuck, man, I wish this guy kind of raised me to be better, right? But
Yeah.
that's all there is to it. And I was a liberal majority of my 20s, I dated a great girl, bro, like virgin. Her and I
Mm.
both took each other's virginity. I thought she was the one. Then I got stationed in England. I tried to be a fuck boy out there. Then I became a heathen out there, bro.
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you, that was the biggest mistake of my life. Like looking
Yeah.
back, it's an experience that I learned,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but you know what I mean. But the only good take back I get from all these different assignments and deployments is the actual great camaraderie that you get in the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have guys that I consider my brothers who I still keep in touch with till to this day. I literally talk to these guys every day, but they're grown now. They're grown ass adults, married with kids. And if you would have met the guy that has who just had his third baby, if you would have met him like 10 years ago, literally, you would have been like, no fucking way this dude is gonna ever have a family.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
lo and behold, this dude is turned around his life for the most beautiful things in his life. And I'm proud to be their gay uncle, I'm not gay, by the way. He fucking jokes
Yeah.
around and tells his fucking kids that shit.
Yeah. Of
So
course. Of course.
anytime I go see them, like gay Uncle Berto, I'm like, hey, god damn it, Dean, you fucking faggot. Like you can't be telling your kids that shit, but whatever, I'll just go with it. But anyways,
Oh yeah, dude.
so that's just a little bit of background about how I am. Now I'm very goddamn conservative, hard leaning right. And believe it or not, there's something I want to talk to you about, which is why you're gonna be the main guy I want to talk to you on this.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
how can I find God before God finds me?
Yeah, dude. That's a great question. Yeah, you asked me that, and yeah, there are a ton of different ways I can take that question, but I guess if I wanted to take it the most biblically accurate that I could possibly think of, It very much is. It's whether it's so it's so you're figuring out how can you find God, and I take that as becoming a believer, finding Him, understanding the truth before it comes time where you have no more no more opportunity. So it's when you're dead and buried, you see Him on Judgment Day, and your time is up. So eventually, there will be a time when God calls you to Himself, and you are judged on whether you lived a life worthy of Him or not. And the predicament everybody faces, and you see this in Genesis, that everybody falls short, all fall short. And that's Romans 3:23. All fall short of the glory of God. When Adam and Eve fell, when Eve gave him the apple, and he was like, "I don't want to spend the rest of my life without my chick, and I'm just going to follow her lead," because the first sin was bowing to feminism. I'm gonna let my wife lead our relationship, and so you follow him, and immediately man falls into sin, and his proclivity and his nature is to sin because it corrupted the very thing that God created, his crown jewel, which was humanity, and so our whole lives are steeped in sin. So it gives us we're in a very deep pit. All of a sudden, we got to figure out how to get out of it because God demands perfection. He demands that we're perfect, and we can't do that. So all of a sudden, we're in this place where we need something outside of us to be able to bring us into that relationship with God. So it's and that is ultimately the man Jesus Christ, the God man Jesus Christ.
So I'm let me cut you off real quick. I am
Okay.
trying to find
Right.
some sort of soul, right, for me to not so much I guess bend the knee, I guess, that's kind of a terrible analogy or terminology to use, but for example, I'm trying to find my purpose, right? Like
Yeah.
it took me literally 20 years to be almost 20 years to be in my position. I'm financially well, responsibly well. I take care of all I have is my mother in my life.
Mm-hmm.
She's a widow now. She was married for over 20 years, to that, said, stepfather that I had. Great man. But now I am in the position of taking care of a woman that I want to have children with, right?
Yeah.
But how can I lead a relationship, which I'm pretty good leading at things, but without a real purpose in life, So I feel I am missing that purpose, and I feel God is that purpose. Jesus Christ is that purpose for me.
Yeah.
So the thing that I want to know about is what is the best option to do and my secularist views or any secular viewpoint, right? I'm not saying I used to be super hardcore atheist. Now I'm for the past like year and a half, I think Andrew kind of like opened my eyes a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I had him on my Rumble before he got big. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But the problem is I was so nervous with him because he fucking put me on his YouTube. And I'm like, oh, come on, dude. I can't be authentic.
Yeah, immediately.
So I couldn't say what I wanted to say, right?
Yeah.
So I was nervous and I cussed a little too much to the point Rachel hated it. Now
Yeah, of
we're all
course.
BFFs.
Yeah.
Me and Rachel, we're like, we're fucking BFFs now. So is me
Yeah.
and Andrew to the point. We're all good now. I consider Andrew like a legit good friend now. We've met up, we've like whining dined him, him and Jim Bob. Great fucking person and in person
Yeah.
too. But anyways,
Oh yeah, dude.
Andrew opened up and got vulnerable with me in regards to what happened to one of his children that passed away many, many years ago. And so, yeah, I got you, Dano. The thing is with Andrew, he explained to me about why, there's always going to be a greater good to seek out great, like better things. I don't want to, quote, misquote him, but he basically told me because I went through some bad trauma as a child. I was abused. I got fucked up, by my mom's first marriage, to a guy. and he beat the fuck out of me, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe that's why I was fucked up growing up and did what I
Definitely
did
didn't
in the
help.
military, right? That shit
Yeah.
does not help, bro. But the whole point is that I brought up to Andrew was, how can I believe in a God when there's someone so malicious like that, abusing a child, a little boy,
Mm.
waking him up in the middle of the night, just beating the fuck out of him, no matter how much I prayed. There was
Yeah.
never anybody else there to save me, not even my poor mother.
Mhm.
Like, she didn't even know about it. This guy like had me like hush, right? That's the kind of fear he put into
Yeah.
me. So I lost my faith in God because I realized there is no God to ever save me or any other child. This is back in the day, right?
Mhm.
And I stuck through that plan, dude, to the point where I'm now in a position. I'm like, fuck, man. I think there is something out there that doesn't just fulfill my own needs, because right now I've been in like the most degenerate, stage of my life ever since I started making money and
Mhm.
all this shit, right? Temptation.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I took it I grasped that shit with two hands back in 2018 when I started making real money. I was like, damn, I was like, life is so good. At least that's what you think.
Yeah.
And then we start reading up about, the degeneracy of America
Mhm.
and how I am that problem of why a lot of women are becoming more slutty, and and there's a lot of women are not becoming mother-like figures, for future kids that you want to settle down with type shit. I It took me a lot of reading a different bunch of different books um to realize, damn, I am the biggest piece of shit ever. Not only did I rack up these girls' body counts, I fucked over a lot of girls. I didn't like lie to them about who I was, but I would manipulate them and saying, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be
Mhm.
my girl," kind of thing. Pretty
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah. You say what you
Manipulation
need to
and
say to be able to
right, just
get them
keep
to do
keep that
what you
girl
wanna
around.
do. Yeah.
Right, keep
Exactly.
them around.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and then Andrew like detests all that degenerate behavior, but he
Yeah, yeah.
also knows that he was also a degenerate back in the day before he got married with kids and whatnot,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So he knows the process that I've went through. Mind you, I was a lot later than him, but I'm a late bloomer, bro.
Yeah.
But
It's never too late, man.
so now I'm at the stage for the past like 6, 7 months. I've been reevaluating my life because I I have an addiction problem. That's sex.
Mm.
Uh, it's easy for me to get, but it's difficult for me to now stay in a relationship,
Yeah.
because right now when I go to conferences all the time and I don't use no dating apps, any of that shallow shit.
Mhm.
I did make a show last year about dating apps. It's really cool. I have to send that to you in
Okay.
particular.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's funny as shit, and I calculated the amount of money I had to spend just to get
Mm.
girls' attention on shit. It's
Dude.
fucking crazy. But anyways,
Yeah.
now I'm in a position where it's difficult for me to pick out the good girls from the
Mm.
bad girls. But bad girls, I don't mean like ultra slutty or nothing like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean
yeah.
the real pick me's. You have the fake pick me's that say what they think you want to hear, and then
Mhm.
the real pick me's are the ones that they actually mean what they say to, stick it through the relationship, right? To
Yeah.
maintain a relationship.
Yeah.
That's the problem that I have now. But then I realized something that Andrew said and some other people. I think you even mentioned something about like, if you don't follow anything in life, what makes you think a woman's going to respect you for her to follow your lead, kind of
Mm.
thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? You're right. I gotta find my purpose, and I feel like Christianity is the best way. I've been studying up on it, about different religion. I definitely don't want to go to the Catholic route. That's just fucking
No, man. Don't do
bad.
that. That's a
Uh,
bad place to be.
Bad fucking place to be, dude.
Yeah, dude.
So, and I feel like the Christian route is the best route. Now I am becoming a believer.
Mm.
I want to repent for my sins, and I have a lot of red in my ledger though. And I told Andrew this, man. I don't like, if OnlyFans girls can't be redeemed, I have done much more worse things.
Mm.
Not like, than like raping no bitches or nothing like
No,
that.
yeah,
Not
yeah,
that
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
But I
No,
did
no.
stuff in my career in the Air Force that I'm just,
Dude, yeah.
it's like it was fucked up, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, how can how am I different from that, that
Mm.
sense, right?
Yeah.
So my question to you is, even though I'm seeking Christianity and finding the right church, what
Mhm.
is my next move that you would suggest I take? Like, what kind of denomination should I, follow? Right? What
Mm.
should I do? I guess for me to be in a position where not only will I be respected as the man of the house, but to have more, you know, the less of the baggage women, I guess,
Yeah,
towards
yeah,
to come
yeah.
to me.
Mhm.
I don't know if that makes sense. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
No, yeah,
go ahead.
dude, honestly, yeah, yeah. Actually, my roommate doesn't have the same story, but he's very similar boat. He was a frat guy, womanizer, like serial womanizer, going to all those crazy parties. But this essentially comes down to what I was suggesting earlier, as we're talking about, like, there is nobody in the eyes of God that is perfect. So
Right.
everybody is seen by God as sinful, broken, and worthy of hell. So I hate when people play this game of uh like my sin is like a little bit less than this other person's sin. So you can take an OnlyFans chick. Yes,
Yeah.
there's a lot of work they have to do to like unravel all of this stuff to where they can get to the truth. I agree. But in the eyes of God, each of us is deserving of hell. So I don't think I mean, there's only one sin in the Bible that's like unredeemable, and that's like it's forsaking the Lord. It's saying it's essentially permanently saying like he is either non-existent or he has nothing to do with my life.
So an
It's like
atheist, basically.
exactly it's essentially being an atheist, but it's hard to define that. It again, that's like I wouldn't be able to see somebody and say they are permanently banned from the book of life. I think that's totally up to God. That's kind of where we you get into Matthew chapter 7 where it says judge not lest you be judged. They people take that out of context chronically. It's extremely terrible. That passage actually tells us to judge and to be
Yeah.
good judges. But anyway, so in your case, we have to realize that for those who are chosen by Christ, his people, they are redeemable because his sacrifice is ultimately what makes us look righteous in the eyes of God. When all the sins in our life, when he was up on that cross, being forsaken by the Father, uh, he bore the weight and he knew every single sin that he was paying for. He knew all of his children by name, knew the weight of the sacrifice he was making, and he still made it. And that's the incredible part about it. So I guess there is no one that's irredeemable because in God's eyes, I am worthy of hell just as much as you are because I have an evil, corrupt heart that he redeemed, and I am veiled by his son's righteousness. So when God looks at me, he no longer sees Mason the sinner. He sees Christ in his clothing, and he has clothed me with his righteousness. So he sees his work instead of mine. That's why Christ needed to live for 30 years, have a perfect life, and die a perfect death. Like, if it was just literally about Christ coming to earth and dying, they would have just aborted him. And yeah, there you go. But no, he needed to live a perfect life, uh, rack up like a perfect works resume. He never sinned, and now all of those works are credited to his children. Um, and that sacrifice was necessary. Now, weighing in on where I think your next steps are, I am a confessional Reformed Baptist.
What does that
Essen-
mean? Remember,
so
I'm like new to
no,
the
yeah,
game
no,
here.
totally fine. Yeah, yeah. So confessionalism, it kind of gets a not a bad rap. It's you're kind of seen as a legalist. Um, uh,
Do you
yeah. So
tell?
yeah. So the confessionalists' main argument is that a church confession is essentially a list of doctrines that okay, at this church we hold to these specific doctrines. So my favorite confession is the 1689 Second London Baptist Confession. So it'll go through like questions like who is God, like scriptural authority, and there's like 28 different articles. So it goes covers a litany of topics. So it just defines those doctrines, and it gives you scriptural references for why those doctrines mean what they mean and the position that the Bible holds on those doctrines. So most evangelical churches don't have a written confession, like a list of things like this is what our church believes, this is why we believe it, this is where in the Bible you see that truth. Most churches are like, oh, we just believe in the Bible, and like kind of we're super loose with like how we're not super stringent with how we view certain doctrines because we don't want to scare people off, we don't want to insult people. It can be very offensive because contrary to popular belief, Jesus was a really offensive dude. He pissed off a lot of people. He drove people out of the temple with the cat o' nine tails, and which was a miraculous event. That event specifically was a miracle. He took like a stadium of like probably like 10,000 people. It was thousands, and he with his booming voice and terrifying demeanor vacated the premises. So like he showed extreme anger, righteous anger. So Jesus was he was a cool dude. But yeah, very offensive, very polarizing, and that's essentially what Scripture does. It polarizes, and you are to be accurate with it. So that's why I'm a confessionalist. I think people should have a written confession, so it's up for public scrutiny. Anybody can come in and say, hey, we disagree with this part of the confession because X, Y, and Z. This is where I see it in Scripture. But most evangelical churches nowadays don't want to provide that because they don't want to have the scrutiny.
That seems a real bitch-like, I guess.
Yeah, no, 100%. It definitely is.
Because I notice whenever Andrew speaks to a lot of people, and this is before even the whole being nice thing is. As a matter of fact, I just got harassed recently because someone tried to tone police me when I think someone mentioned some bullshit that Christians need to be nice. I'm like, who the fuck said that? I don't remember that in the Bible. No, neither does Andrew, And then I was piggybacking off some argument, and then they all came and attacked me instead, not Andrew.
Of course not. Yeah.
But then I put them in their spot too. I'm like, show me where you have to be nice, And
show me.
They couldn't. And then I realized. Then I was telling them I'd rather be respected and show respect than be nice or to be nice, because in the real world, being nice doesn't get you anywhere. In my business, my line of business, I'm ruthless, dude. I don't. If I'm fucking nice, they're gonna fucking run through me, dude. Ain't no fucking way. Like I'm respected because I voice my opinions on what needs to be done properly. And if they don't like it, then I'll take my business elsewhere. I'm not short on my business. So,
dude, the Bible is full of men who are unwilling to move because of what they know is the truth. It is like, I don't care how you feel about it. I'll say it in a way that's clear, but I'm not going to water it down because it offends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of those guys got killed for it. I mean, guys got boiled alive.
God damn. That's in the Bible?
Dude, that's in the Bible, man.
Damn, I need to get into that.
Dude, yeah. The John the disciple, he got boiled alive and he lived.
Oof, that's a rough life.
Yeah, he got boiled. He was the only one who didn't get martyred. He was the only disciple who didn't get martyred, but he did get boiled alive.
Fuck, that sucks, man.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, man.
I definitely wanted to hit up on this topic first with you because I know you're a Christian man, and you seem to have your head on your shoulders. I don't mean, like I said, this is not a really relationship thing, but it always circles back to that no matter what, even in politics.
It's an important topic, man.
It is, it is a very important topic. And I know a lot of people like even rag on me when they're like, I fucking jokingly tell people, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm born again, baby. I'm in my soft guys era right now, bro. Trying
Yeah,
to find
dude.
me that. I'm trying to find me that damn woman that pays my bills and
Yeah,
shit.
man.
Cash at me $4,000, baby. I'll
Yeah,
fucking make a
dude.
date at McDonald's.
Oh yeah, man.
Um, I I like half. I'm like half joking and half serious on that because
Yeah.
the reason why I'm serious on that is because women. I'm in a like I've been turning down women for the past like few weeks
Hmm.
because um I'm getting tired of the bullshit, these demands. And if you notice, I don't have TikTok. I have no social media. I've
Yeah.
never had Instagram, never had TikTok, never had
Hmm.
I had Facebook when it was college only, but it
Mm.
was in the military, so that was
Yeah,
considered,
yeah.
college login back in the day. And so but it only lasted from '05 to like '07 before it became public to everybody. And I was in the middle of my move to England, and I was doing some fuckery, and my mom was on there, and then I'm like, oh shit, can't have my mom looking at my dumb shit, right? So I deleted it. Haven't been
Yeah.
back on since. But anyways, the whole lead up to all this, right, is uh the whole trying to find a good woman. And when I ask people where, I get a lot of the church answers, but then again, how the fuck can you get those church women to be their actual selves and really
Dude.
let us know if they're really good or really bad and have a bad past, right?
Hmm.
So when it comes to that, it is
Bro,
fucking awful.
it
Like
is.
whatever,
It's rough.
and then with you, I I mean, I don't want to tell your business unless people already know who you are. It looks like a lot of people kind of know. Well, yeah, some people know who you are,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yeah, my
but
boy Stifler's
you're
in here. Yeah,
yeah, I
he's
see that.
one of my boys I game with.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, dude.
That's what's up,
Stiffy's a
dude.
great guy.
That's
Stiffy's a
what's
great
up, dude.
dude.
Shout out to you, Stiff. But anyways, I'm a gamer too, bro. But man, we're gonna talk about the gaming shit way later, though.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. We'll
anyways,
get there. We'll get there.
but anyways, so you being a virgin, which
Hmm.
is extremely difficult to still comprehend with the way you look, the
Yeah,
way
yeah.
your demeanor is. And I've showed my friends how you look like, and they're like, "There's no fucking way." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
there's no way, man.
yeah, like I'm uglier than he is, and I'm still getting more play."
Yeah, dude.
And but you have values you have been
Hmm.
sticking through. That's
Yeah.
difficult, and you had
Mm.
the reason why I brought up the whole family thing is you
Mm.
probably got brought up in a very good family unit to the point where
Mhm.
that is instilled in your brain. And I'm sure you want to pass that on to whoever is going to, birth your children, and you want to set that great example to,
Yeah, man. No, yeah.
right?
There's so much of my life. I've seen God work in so much of my life, in like the things He's blessed me with, and the hard times He's taken me through. There have been plenty of times in my life where I felt completely alone, and it's only because I knew He was there. I often one of my favorite books in the Bible is the Book of Job, and I mean, people understand. Most people know the story of Job, where God takes like everything away from this guy, and then he takes away his health, takes away everything. He doesn't take his wife away. He strategically leaves his wife to nag him while
Oh,
he.
damn.
Yeah,
I think
it's
I've heard
rough,
about
man.
this before.
It's rough. Yeah, dude. So it takes away everything from him. And one of the questions that was posed to me while I was listening to some sermon, it was, will God be enough for you if you have nothing else? Like if you don't have your health, you have no financial success. If he took everything away from you, is he still enough? Is your relationship with him still enough? And like it really makes you evaluate the priorities in life. Because if you think about it, and I think about this all the time. Um, I
It's
think
making
of
me think too.
Dude, I think about things on this in the scope of eternity. So say I'm in financial ruin for the rest of my life. I like say I become a quadriplegic. I'm not. Let's knock on wood here. But
God, I hope not.
dude, that'd be rough.
Uh,
But in the scope of eternity, like our life, that if you're lucky, 70, 80 years, that's nothing. It's nothing. So if you
yeah,
suffer for 70, 80 years, but you have an eternity with like absolute joy, and you spend it with like your ultimate prize, which is Christ. Like, and you get to worship, and not just worship. And when I say worship, it's not like we're going to go up and like sing for all eternity.
I
No,
know
no,
what
no,
you
no,
mean.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's essentially what God intended for us when he created the earth. So it's forming relationships, getting to do fun things when work was supposed to be like extremely enjoyable. There's no more suffering, no more heartache. Like all of that stuff is included in worship. So it's like, yeah, I'll suffer for 80 years and have eternity with him. And that's totally worth it to me. So, but
Oh,
yeah, I guess tying it back into this relationship thing. Yeah, if I never found a woman, if I never got married, never had sex, it would be totally worth it to me because in the grand scheme of eternity, those things they're just glimpses of what we are to experience when we're with him forever. Like when God gave us sex and marriage, it's just a glimpse into how our relationship is with him. Like I'm not saying like we're gonna have sex in heaven, but
I know what you mean.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, like the
There's
connection
no
that
faggotry in heaven. Get out of here
no,
with
man.
that.
No, get out of here. No, no. That bond, like I know this person better than anyone and I value them more than anybody. I would literally die for this person. Um that's just a glimpse, like a small morsel of what we'll experience with our Lord and Savior. And it's like,
Okay, right
hmm,
on.
I'll I'll make that sacrifice. So it would suck. I would rather find a wife. That'd be pretty great. But you know,
I'm sure you're not gonna have any issues with that,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. It's not like
It's the
I
I feel like the only issue you're gonna run into is who's good. Not even great, just finding a
dude, yeah.
decent woman, right? Like, I don't know what your standards are, but
Yeah, man.
apparently my standards are, according to the fucking public, court of public opinion, is too much. When I
Yeah.
mean my standards, bro, my standards are so basic. Like,
Dude.
give me a fucking average chick. Give me a 5. Just don't
Mhm.
be fat. I don't want skinny. I don't want big, fat. Give me an average, bro. Have nice teeth. Have a good relationship with your parents. That's not asking for much, bro. That's all. I
No,
don't give
dude.
a fuck how tall you are. I don't give a shit about your career. I don't give a shit about your education. I can cover any of that on my own for you.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Like, and then I just had a woman recently argue with me. I always have these stupid women fucking argue with me, mainly feminists, obviously. And
Yeah, yeah,
it's
of
never
course.
insane women. And I
No,
always
no, no, no,
notice,
no.
I always notice it's the pretty girls never argue with me on this. Is really the ugly fat ones, that have an issue with
Exactly.
this, or
They have the
older women,
opinions.
or the pretty ones, but are like near my age, who
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
who are fucking, hit the wall and are
Yeah, dude.
extremely bitter, right?
It's a real
And
thing.
so it's a real fucking thing. And then they tell me, like, oh yeah, you're asking for too much. You don't you want a girl that doesn't know anything. I'm like, yeah. I mean, they're easy to manipulate. I'm like, well, I'm older, but there's nothing to manipulate if she already likes me.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is there to manipulate? She likes me, I like her, we have sex, I don't force her to do a goddamn thing.
Mhm.
So it's just plain and fucking simple, bro. And
Yeah, dude.
what's up, Abcheck? It's just plain, simple, manmatics is what I call it. Instead of mathematics, I call it
Mm.
manmatics,
Yes, yes.
because it's very simple.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for no model, bro. Shit, I don't want that shit. The hotter, the more fucking drama that I don't want to deal with.
Mhm.
And
More guys you have to beat off of her. Dude.
honestly, if a girl wants that attention, she can have it, and she's not gonna be with me, man.
Mhm.
Like, even my own friends, well, not my close friends, but like I would say, like, uh acquaintances, that are friends of mine, whatever, they actually found issue with me recently with the relationship I just recently had. She
Oh,
was a
yeah?
very beautiful doctor, hot, um, you know, she was all into me. And then, but whenever I'm interested in a woman and I lay out my boundaries in someone I'm interested
Yeah.
in immediately. Like, I don't
Mhm.
fuck around, dude. I don't want to
No,
waste
dude.
my time. Like, I'm in that position, and trust me, I am not short on options, my friend.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying I'm like a stud and I
No, no,
get
no,
laid
no,
all the
but
time, but I get turned down way more than ever, and I'm okay with that.
yeah.
That's it. We're gonna talk about like how men are and the incels right after this little convo.
Mhm.
But this girl, I met her at a conference, you know, she happened to be walking by for her doctor shit, and I'm doing my cyber shit. And she couldn't believe that I was in front by myself talking in front of all these men about cybersecurity, you know, just nerdy shit.
Yeah.
And then I look at her, I'm like, damn, there's no way she's a doctor. She's fucking hot, bro. And then I asked her for a number, and then I was like, I'm really interested in you. I'd like to get to know you a little bit better. We had coffee. I don't pay for dinner dates. I used to back in the day when I was a little simpy little bitch.
Oh, yeah.
And then we took it off from there. But that coffee date is where it really set things right off in a good way, in a good path that I thought, at least I thought it was going to be a good path. I told her, I don't want no girl that is on Instagram. If you're on Instagram, that's fine. But if you're trying to validate yourself by strangers online,
Dude,
I ain't about that life. She showed me her shit. Dude, it's pretty goddamn innocent, you know?
Yeah.
She can flaunt that body and get flown out by any dude. That's how hot she is.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I broke one of my rules of dating girls over 26. I like them between 18 and 25.
Yeah.
Because I want to have fucking kids, bro.
Dude, yeah.
I want to have a bunch of little nigger me's, dude. Like running all over the place.
I want a bunch of kids.
I do. I really do, bro.
Yeah, man.
And so, and she had no problem with kids. And then even the paternity test shit didn't even like throw her off. Yes. Man, paternity testing, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Yes.
100%.
If you're not a virgin, dude, you're getting a fucking paternity test. She ain't found no issues with that. And when I said I don't like girl trips, she did find that a little off a little bit. Yeah. But she didn't fight me for it. About a month and a half into relationship, she's like, hey, my girlfriend, you know, one of my really good friends, she's getting married, having her bachelorette party over at the Hamptons. If you're familiar with what the Hamptons is, it's like some extra bougie shit, right?
Dude,
I'm like,
and
I'm just like, okay, well, you can go, but
I'm
not stopping you. I'm not keeping you. You're not my slave.
No.
I already told you about how I feel about that shit. I'm a risk mitigator. I like to mitigate risk at all costs.
100%.
If you go, we're not going to be together. It's that simple. She's like, come on, are you fucking serious? Bullshit. You're not going to leave me. I'm like, no, you're going to be leaving yourself because the toothbrush you're leaving at my place and shit, it's not going to be here.
Yeah.
And whatever else you got, it's not going to be here. We're not going to be talking. She defied me, and you know, she went. Next thing you know, she's been blowing up my phone, and I'm like, we're not. I told you I don't want that shit. It's that I like. That's a no go, bro. No. Women don't understand that we have boundaries, and I set upon dating somebody seriously, and they have an issue with that. It's like, I'm not telling you what you can or can't do. I'm just letting you know, if you're going to be part of my program, this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want no girls trip, you know? So that's the issue that I'm coming up right now. And it's a pain, man. Like it fucking sucks.
No. Yeah. There are certain things that I'm just like,
lay out your boundaries. Let's hear your
always, shit so, okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of, so I'm not okay with girls trips. I want to hear the information about it. Like, okay, if it just depends. It's highly dependent. But I mean, like if she's going with her girls that I know that I'm like, I've vetted, if they're going to like a cabin or something, whatever, that's fine. And they're just like, it just depends. I have to know all this. Like
Hampton's a no-go, bro. Fuck that.
Hampton's a no-go, dude.
No, I don't play that shit.
Going to Panama City? No, not about that. I'll go with you. I'll tag along.
I did actually ask to tag along because I can work from anywhere, right?
Yeah, dude.
Like, really? Like, you really want to do that? It's gonna be boring for you.
Well, the thing is like I know how devious guys can be. Like I know the depths that like when I was in college, I knew exactly what I needed to do to like just stay in like a girl's life, and maybe, just maybe, if like there was the slightest crack, I could slip my way in. Dude, I know the games the guys will play.
Right, and I know. We both played them before.
If there's liquor involved, if your guard is down, you're with your girls, and like a guy kind of comes into the picture. Oh, it's just a night. Oh, it's just one dance. Oh, it's just one drink. And then that leads to something else. And I know what can happen.
Yeah.
So I have yeah, so girls trip, definitely a boundary.
Okay, keep going.
I'm not okay with girls who have guy friends.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I forgot. Yeah, that's
dude,
definitely a no go.
that's a no-go,
Yeah.
man. Oh yeah, that's like I have to know what you mean by guy friends. Like if there are guys at work that you have to converse with for work things, great, that's fine. Or
Any
like,
guy that you have slept with and you still contact with,
dude, no way.
fuck
That's
no,
no,
it's
that's
not gonna happen.
immediate red flag. I can't do that, dude. No way.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
But
I
keep
don't do
going.
guy best friends or guy friends.
Yeah.
I've been burned by that in the past.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, dude, not okay. Let's see. I mean, obviously, she's got to be a Christian.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've been looking into that too myself. She's gotta be a Christian.
yeah, man. Let's see.
Coming from a guy who's not complete Christian, kind of
But
hypocritical, but hey man,
hey,
standards, bro.
yeah, dude, standards. Let's see.
Not be fat.
Yep, she's got to go to the gym. She's got to take care of herself. Like, I want to.
Healthy.
I keep myself to a standard. I go to the gym,
Are you
not
sure
like
about that? You look a little
yeah,
chubby,
yeah, man.
bro.
Yeah, man. I'm all chubby and
I see
stuff.
I see a little fat underneath your arms there. Are you sure
Yeah,
about that? No, I'm just kidding.
there's some little fat bags in there. Yeah. No, dude. I mean, so like looking good is kind of like a side effect for me for going to the gym. I go to the gym and I work out and I take care of myself so that when my kids are playing in the yard, my grandkids, I want to be
You
out
want to keep
there.
up with them.
Dude, I want them to be struggling to keep up with me. I want to be out there
Right.
shooting guns with them, going on adventures, doing crazy stuff. Like I want them to be excited to come over to grandpa's house because he's the fun guy. Like grandpa's cool. He'll spoil us with like a great time because he's not just gonna sit in the house in his wheelchair and like do nothing. He's gonna do stuff with us. Like,
Right.
oh geez, man, I really want that, and I want the same from my partner. I want them to be like,
Don't
I
say
have that
partner ever
same.
again for your
Okay, fair,
woman.
fair. My
I
woman, man.
hate it
Okay,
when
fair,
people
fair.
say partner. That shit's gay as fuck, bro. That is like the most faggy thing when I hear people say my partner.
No,
I'm
you're
like,
right.
what?
You're right.
You guys split bills too? Like, what the fuck? Who runs this shit?
Yeah. No, my woman.
Lesson learned. Don't fucking I
Lesson
want you to
learned.
correct motherfuckers on whatever on that too.
Gotcha, man.
So
Gotcha.
correct people,
Yeah.
obviously, in your demeanor, but go ahead.
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. But yeah. So my woman, I want her to have those same goals. I want her to like be able to pick up the children, do all that stuff. Like I want her to be able to do household chores as well as like when we're in our old age with kids. I want both of us to be able to spend time with our grandkids. And like I want to be in like my 80s and 90s and still be able to move around, still be able to do all this. Like, yeah. I think one of my favorite videos of all time is like this 93-year-old power lifter, and he's deadlifting like 405 for a set of 3. It's like unbelievable. It's my favorite video of all time. It's because like we have that ability. It's like whether you let it slip or not. So yeah, man. I want them to be physically active. I want them to take care of their body.
Of course.
Yeah.
Pretty simple options to me,
dude.
I don't think that's like foul or out there or even unreasonable.
No. I get people with this next one though. This one comes off rough.
Virgin.
I want her. No, yeah, for real. If Brian had his way, 100%. I want them to be teachable. So
that's not. Yeah, I told you molding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, as long as the foundation is there, it'll be perfect for you to lead her to greatness, right? I just had a guy tell me that, and I was like, okay, maybe I've been doing this wrong.
So that was like my dad when we were growing up. That was his one, not his only advice, but he was like, if you can find one characteristic about a woman that's probably the most important, is that she has to be teachable. So it's provided with a preponderance of evidence, or just like, hey, I'm leading us in this direction. I might give reasons why, but I need this to happen. Is she willing to put aside her emotions, her feelings, to adopt my vision, my leadership, and my instruction? And if she's totally for that, then, and if she's willing to adapt to what I'm leading her and teaching her in, that's like Gosh, that's a big turn on for me, man.
No, I get it. That's what that's what I want too. That's
Yeah.
why, women, it doesn't matter the age, as long as the foundation is there, it'll be great.
Yeah.
The best women to do that with is the ones that have healthy relationships with their father,
Agreed.
because the
Agreed.
father is the one that's going to be really picking the man out for her. Just
Mhm.
because she brings him doesn't mean he's going to be approving of the man that she
Yeah.
brings over. So I noticed that with my first and real relationship that I ever had, the one I let get away, right?
Mhm.
And I noticed that her father, I now mind you, if she was a beautiful girl. She was a Disney princess, one of the main Disney princesses, mind you. She was
Okay,
gorgeous,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
And I was
Huh.
like, damn, she wants to go out with my ugly ass. This is a fucking badass thing, right? So the thing is with her, she liked me no matter what. She saw my personality, and that's why she loved me.
Mm.
I mean, hell, I even told her I was gonna have kids with her. I mean, it was that deep, bro, at
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time. This is before I became a complete degenerate piece of shit. And the thing is, her father had an issue with me because I thought it was more of the fact that it was because I wasn't white. They're like super, conservative Christian,
Mhm.
and it wasn't. It was, I guess, that had a little thing to it because I wasn't white, but he wasn't a bad man though. He just wasn't
Yeah.
used to that, right?
Mhm.
He ended up liking me later on. But it was because I didn't believe in God.
Mhm.
I noticed that was a huge red flag, and rightfully so. Now that I
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it, as an older person now, I can see why he felt that kind of way towards his daughter.
Mhm.
And because they invited me to church all the time and I never went, and he would get pissed off. And then it took me a long time to win that man over. Her mom loved me, of course. All moms love me.
Yeah, yeah.
And but the mere fact is, I noticed it's not gonna just be with her. I learned a lot from that fucked up relationship.
Mhm.
And but I mean, fucked up is I'm the one that fucked that up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I take accountability for all of those actions that went down with that. Now, she's married now. Who knows if she has a kid?
Mhm.
But whatever. I haven't talked to her in like over 10 years now.
Yeah.
But the whole point is, when you have something good, don't let it go. Basically,
Yeah.
and it sucks. I've had maybe one or two other girls like that, but bro, dating in these streets have been rough.
Dude.
And it's even worse because I stopped watching porn towards the end, middle of 2018.
Yeah, okay. Good for you, man.
Yeah. I don't know how you feel about that. I know porn is bad. I know. I know you. Yeah, I know you talk shit about it, but if you watch it, you need to stop it.
Dude, it's rough.
Yeah.
It's
So
highly addictive and super destructive.
correct.
Yeah.
So I had that problem to the point where I let another really good girl go because I just couldn't get it up because I had to like
Mhm.
fucking just spank the bank, bro, like all the time.
Yeah.
And that definitely is that'll definitely ruin relationships as well.
Mhm.
And since I've been porn free, shit, my libido skyrocketing. I don't even masturbate anymore. When I feel like doing some degenerate act, I just go run. That's why I'm not a fat
Yeah, there you
fuck.
go. Yeah, dude.
I used to work out quite a lot. But then I realized, fuck that, man. That's just too much work. I'm just gonna run.
Yeah.
So the point is, now that I'm gonna lead to this next part of the segment is the whole political segment.
Okay.
I
Here
know
we
it's
go.
kind of weird how this goes, right? You live in California.
Dude, yeah.
It must be rough dating women out there because majority of them are liberal fucking cuck bitches.
Dude.
It really
Mhm.
must be. And then especially when you tell them how you feel about politics, because politics always comes into play when it comes to dating, no matter what.
Always
You can't
does.
escape it. You can't escape it.
Mhm.
No matter how hard you try or they try, you can't escape it because
Yeah.
women can see through that. Even a guy of your status, your stature, especially, they probably think that they can walk all over you because of the way your demeanor is. But then
Mhm.
when you have a stance with how you are, which how I know now, they're like, oh fuck, yeah,
Yeah,
like this
dude.
guy is not a liberal, so I can't run all over this guy.
Mhm.
So
No,
have you
yeah.
ever run into that problem, basically, dating, where you've
Dating?
met where you, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously you're dating because you're
Yeah,
not
exactly.
fucking.
No, yeah.
So yeah, so like when you go out with these girls before, you currently in a relationship now, right?
Yeah, I've been talking to this girl for probably a
Oh,
week and a half. No,
okay.
it's been like a month now, not a
Oh
week.
damn.
Yeah.
Losing
So,
track. But
yeah,
so
dude.
like so with previous to this girl, I'm
Mhm.
sure it is even worse for you than it is for me because of your moral grounding that you have had
Mm.
with yourself and God and being in the most I would say I'm going to argue California is the second most liberal state after
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Oh, Hawaii, yes,
Hawaii, I fucking hate
Hawaii,
Hawaii. I used to live
dude.
there. So we're gonna talk about that later. But tell
Yeah.
me what had got you to the point where I feel like you may have given up until this recent girl. How has it been
Mm.
for you for your stance on your virginity and finding girls to date even in
Yeah.
California?
Mhm. Yeah, it has been rough. It's been rough, man. But yeah, dude, I also I know Andrew is kind of the opinion that like you can't even find girls at church. I'm very similar with that. Ideally, yes, it would be awesome if I could find a girl at church because it immediately checks off the Christian box. But I know plenty of churches I've attended that are extremely feminine, where you can get up in the pulpit and you can accost men for sins that men typically have, whether that's lust, whether that's pride, whatever. Um, you can accost men for their lack of leadership, their lack of masculinity, and all of those can be accurate. But if you try to go up there and accost women for accountability or
Oof.
not submission to authority, it is the tidal storm of grief you're going to get is unbelievable. And that's kind of like anywhere in the States. So even especially in the church, it's kind of like they have impunity when it comes to their actions. So that's something my roommate and I talk about a ton, because uh, we're held to like an extremely high standard as men, as you should be. But we're looking over there at the options that we have, and none of them are being held accountable for how they act towards men. They're disrespectful towards men. They don't know how to treat a man. So it's like, I don't want that. Like, I want a woman who's teachable, who respects me, who treats me with respect,
Oh man,
who, like,
dude. Feminists would love that.
when I walk into a room, I want them to like treat me differently than they would another woman or a boy. I want them to be like, this is a man. He loves the Lord. I need to treat that with respect. God has given him authority as a man. And there aren't too many women like that out there. And that pisses off a ton of women. So
Feminists. It doesn't piss
uh,
off women, it pisses off
pisses
feminists.
off feminists. Yeah. Feminists are not women. Yes.
Yeah,
No.
it's I like that you bring that up about the submission, right? I was
Hmm.
watching this I've been researching, who to follow, pastors and stuff like that.
Ooh, yeah.
And I thought I found a really good one. I was like, damn, this guy's really speaking my language.
Hmm.
Can't remember his name. I have to put it up. And my
Yeah.
buddy sent it to me via Twitter. And then one thing I disagreed with him on is the whole like okay, he started out really well on this
Yeah.
part where he said men submit to God so women can submit to their man who submits to God. I was like, okay, so far so good.
Hmm.
But man needs to know when to be submissive towards their women. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh, no,
I
no,
was like,
no.
what this nigga talking about?
Oh,
No,
you
no, no,
lost me. You lost
no, no,
me.
no. And then I had to like rewind that shit. I'm like, oh fuck.
No,
I'm like, I
dude.
ain't following this motherfucker. But everything else he said was great. And
Yeah.
I'm
And
like, oh
it's,
no.
dude, and it's like so many pastors have that pressure that if they say something like women have to submit to men, it's almost like they have to say something else to lessen the blow. It's like, dude, just speak the truth and let the hate come if it's going to come.
Let me ask
But
you this. Speaking of truth, let me ask you this
okay.
question. Do you, why do you think, or do you see more pastors and priests
Mm,
more scared than ever
dude.
to actually say such things?
Yeah, man. No,
Do you
I
see
think
that personally? Like I
I
said, I don't go
personally
to
see
church,
it.
so
No,
I don't
yeah.
know. That's
I
why I'm
mean,
asking.
I know, yeah, the elders in my church specifically, like, there is very much a air of terror that they feel. Like if they take a stand on certain things, just most churches in general, like you are going to receive a ton of lashback from. It could be people in the congregation, it could be people in the community.
But why? Why do you think that is though? Like you're supposed
It's
to, preach the truth,
dude, yeah.
facts. I just don't understand why
No,
people would be scared.
it's a fear of man. It's my dad, another great saying he instilled in me is that you should live for an audience of one. There's only one opinion that matters, and that's God's opinion of you, because that's the only opinion that will be judged. So when you get up there behind the pulpit, you are to have a healthy fear. When you're leading your congregation, there is a terror that should be struck in your heart, not for what other people are going to think of you, but what God thinks of you. Because there's Jesus was talking about if you lead these little children, he's talking about actual little children, but he applies it to people that are underneath you, under your authority. If you lead these children away from me, it's better that you tie a millstone around your neck and sink to the bottom of the ocean. Like God is, he has a different level of hatred for those who lead people astray. So when I see pastors bending the knee to the principalities and to the things of the world, I honestly am terrified for them, because they will stand before God one day and give an account for everything they said behind that pulpit, everything they said with their authority, and how many people they led astray with the words that they said. That's not a responsibility I really want, man.
No, that's literally lack of accountability, if anything.
Yeah, dude. So
And
it's really all about who you fear. Whose opinion do you fear? Do you fear
me,
people's opinions, or do you fear God's opinion?
I would go on I fear God's opinion, but if God never said such vile things, then why the fuck would I care about what people think, right? That's the position that I would be put in.
Yeah.
And I feel there's I guess my next question for you is, where could I even find a church like that where they preach truth, not this submissive man
Yeah.
bullshit, right?
Mhm.
Like, what would be the best kind of church? I guess
Yeah.
Google. I don't know, man, because like they can lead you astray too. Honestly,
No, yeah, definitely. You know all the people in tech that influence Google to send you to stuff that you shouldn't be looking at. Yeah, all the liberal stuff. Yeah, no, dude, not about that. No, so there is, oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the website, but it's a website that it's kind of like combined all of the churches in America that are confessional Reformed Baptist. So they use the 1689 Second London Baptist Confession, and this is
right?
why I'm such a big proponent of confessionalism, because it's a public declaration here. This is our exact body of doctrine that we agree with, and it's up for public scrutiny. So we believe this stuff unashamedly, and you can get pissed off about it, but we have all of these reasons why we believe it to be true. And this is where we see it in scripture. Now, if you can come to us and show us a biblical reason that we shouldn't believe it, great, we'll entertain it. But all those the 1689 specifically has a crazy amount of church history, church tradition that backs it. And it's something that has extensive biblical evidence for it. So you definitely want a church that has a public displayed confession, like these are the things we believe, because they can't hide behind the, oh, we don't have a public confession because we don't want to have things like we don't want to display this stuff because we're up for, yeah, it's like scrutiny, but we won't leave room for Spirit to move people, to teach us things that we haven't really learned before. It's like really wishy-washy. Yeah, it's embarrassing. And that's the kind of stuff that leads us to the type of church leadership that we see today. Super feminine, super, I'm not going to stand for truth because I don't have to hide behind, or I can hide behind this ambiguity.
Yeah, it's So what would differentiate your church beliefs to an orthodoxy Christian church like what Andrew does, right?
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you go that route? You know what I mean?
So, oh gosh, so I have not done my research into orthodoxy, Eastern Orthodox. Oh gosh, I can't give too much informed opinion on
No, it's
their
fine.
church.
It's just,
Yeah, that's yeah.
I
From
don't know any of these things,
no,
so
yeah, yeah. Yeah, honestly, my roommate did a lot more research on this than I did because
don't worry
he
about it, dude.
actually no, he actually I think his brother at one point got pretty close to going Eastern Orthodox. I think there's uh yeah, from what I understand, there's an unhealthy obsession with works. It's kind of like it's works plus God's grace equals salvation. The way Reformed Baptists look at the order of salvation, it's salvation equals, or it's yeah, grace. Uh, so grace and salvation lead to works in your life. So in Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10, it talks about how God predestines the good works that you will do in your life, but it's for those who come to believe in Him. So when God
Do you not
changes your
believe in him
heart,
then?
huh?
I feel like that would be the proper route, don't you think? That you should focus on being on the orthodoxy route.
No, so it's like if so, from what I understand, Eastern Orthodox sees it as your salvation is God's grace plus good works. So you are earning your salvation in some way. Uh,
Oh, I see.
yes. Sorry, maybe I didn't communicate that well
No,
enough.
no, no, you're fine.
It's a
I'm
lot.
just,
So it's the same.
bro, GED education right here, bro.
Hey, yeah, dude, that's
So,
fine. But that's the same way that the Catholic Church views salvation. I think they have a very, very similar view when it comes to that. They're not similar in other ways. Like the Eastern Orthodox Church doesn't have a pope, which is good. I think that's a great thing. You should not have a man who has the authority of God that leads the church. That's obvious room for corruption. I think that's terrible. Um, but yeah, so from what I understand, it's works plus grace equals salvation. The how Protestants view it, and Reformed Baptists specifically, it's God's grace alone gives you salvation, and that leads you because He has changed your heart, because He has changed your life. You're a new creation. You now desire to do the things that God commands of you. It's like if you're in a healthy relationship, you're if you're a woman uh, or your man doesn't like certain things, like, hey, I don't want you to go out cheating on me. You're not going to do that because you love them. Like I'm not going to entertain female friends. I'm not going to go to the club. I'm not going to do these things because I value our relationship. You are more important to me. So works kind of naturally come out of your love and your respect for the other person. It's the same thing with the same thing with our relationship with God. Because He has changed our nature, now we love Him. He is our ultimate prize. Therefore, we are going to chase after those good things, not because like we're doing it to earn our salvation. It's because we love Him. And
interesting. Okay, now I'm getting the
yeah,
difference between the two. All right, I appreciate
mhm.
you educating me on that. I
Hey, yeah,
really
no
didn't
problem.
know the difference. Like I said, I'm still
Yeah,
trying to find my way.
yeah,
Like I said, I'm trying to find God before He finds me, kind of thing, right?
yeah, dude.
So, damn, that went completely sideways from the politics. So,
We got right back to
yeah,
the
yeah,
religion.
yeah. No, I know. I like it though. I'm
Yeah,
getting
dude.
educated
Hey,
and because I don't know any of these things, right? And
yeah,
I
man.
like being educated. That's why I like getting people that are smarter than me on a lot of
Mhm.
different things. I'm not the smartest guy in the
Yeah,
room.
you're
I'm
all
always learning, and
yeah,
I
dude.
like
It's
to learn.
important to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, who have different perspectives.
Damn right.
Um,
Even liberals, bro. I'm always learning how much
yeah.
dumber they are than me.
Why do you like
Like
I love going on that podcast because like it gives me opportunity to see what the rest of the world believes. Like I would never interact with these people outside of this. And it's
right.
like I'm not gonna talk to prostitutes and OnlyFans chicks and like on a
Yeah.
daily basis. So it's like, what makes your mind tick? I really want to know.
Yeah.
So it's
No
yeah.
shit. So back to the politics.
Okay, okay.
So, have you and your family been always pretty conservative, right leaning?
Yeah, you could say so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, why you and I talked about this offline in regards to local politics.
Mm.
I'm very heavily involved in mine. But then again, I'm in a very base location in Florida. I'm in like
Yeah.
super conservative. So I'm like, fuck, man. I guess the only thing I can do is try and bring up some sort of like little piece of paper legislation. And like my thing right now, I like to speak on men's right activism.
Okay.
Veterans help and men's right activism, men's mental health, because no one gives a fuck about us, right?
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to find a legit respected politician that will fight for men's advocacy because there's no money involved in that. The more money is involved when it comes to feminist ideology.
Yeah.
No matter how hard right leaning a lot of these politicians are, money talks, unfortunately.
Yeah, for real.
And it sucks, dude. And so me, I'm trying to bring up something where a lot of bad shit can be lessened, I guess. Not so much done, but I'm speaking about rape. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a person that's been accused of of that before. It was in the military, mind you. This is before Me Too movement. If you've never been in that position, good.
Yeah.
For me, I almost killed myself. Literally, I was suicidal when that happened because I didn't do such a thing. No vile act before.
Yeah.
And it was like a fucking like 5-month investigation. It was bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Luckily for me, on the day of, had my pistol, with the bullet ready, man. If it was anything other than innocent, I was gonna take my life away. You and I would not be talking. Because if men get fucked in the system when it comes to these kind of serious allegations.
Yeah, man.
Lo and behold, I was innocent, and the girl got kicked out of the military, and it was awesome, except for the mere fact that my name was smeared. Regardless,
yeah, of course,
my name was fucking smeared, and I was already getting out of the military at the time, anyways. But I was basically leaving on a very bad note, within the eyes of these people judging me, no matter how fucking innocent I was, Then I come across a lot of other men later on down the lives, or men that I knew. I say that past tense because they did end up taking their lives, and I found out through loved ones about said situations, right?
Yeah.
And it made me bring up this, my own podcast where I like to bring on people with mental health issues and stuff like that, or even go to the veterans affair, here in Tampa or Orlando. I'm mainly in the Tampa area here in Florida.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of vets, that are not taken care of properly.
Yeah.
And that really sucks. But you see all these women's shelters and help centers for them when all they are nothing but entitled bitches, like, bitch, you never been oppressed. Like, you have all the help from the government that you can get. So quit your whining, and just fucking strap up and just shut the fuck up. The quieter you are, the more fucking help you'll get from any man. Trust me. And I bring that up quite a lot because I want to work with somebody that's smart enough, more intelligent than me, that has actual real pull in the political space that will help me push something in regards to the women that make the false accusations towards innocent men, to have a punishment harsher than the punishment itself of being accused of said vile acts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about the wave that'll send across, the nation if one little small town can do such a thing, right? For example, a woman accused someone, innocent of, rape again, right? Whatever. And then say this, my bill, this is fucking awesome. You're going to love this. That bill is basically whatever the man was going to get, double that. And believe me, I believe a lot of these fake ass hoes are going to stop that shit real fucking quick when they see that shit. Think about it.
Yeah, dude.
Think about the shockwave that'll send across the nation.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to find a respectable enough, politician to help me write such a thing up. I got the money. I just got to find a respected person to do that, whether they're left or right. I highly doubt the left are going to do it.
Exactly.
But it's got to be someone, that that's going to accept my money for the right cause. Because I was talking to Andrew in regards to a lot of people being too intimidated in the DC type, politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a pretty heavy war chest. I'm ready to, pump out 100 grand in cash to any politician that'll speak on behalf of men's rights advocacy, right? Because we
Mhm.
are getting shit on. No one gives a fuck about us. Literally, there's more. I sent you that excerpt. Whenever Andrew said it with you, how what he would change about veterans, having better care, more homes, for veterans to be taken care of well and being tax free for the time and service. That he
Yeah.
hit, dude. I was like, that was like one of the best speeches he ever had,
Dude, that was great.
and it was great. And
Mhm.
so that's why I respect the fuck out of him, even though he fucking talks shit about me. And
Oh, yeah, you know.
in
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good mutual
Yeah,
manner though.
exactly,
I
exactly.
talk shit about Andrew too, so fuck him.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, no, Andrew's great. But anyways,
No, yeah, he's great.
and then he speaks on this, and then I that's why he's basically my voice in the community
Mhm.
that has a wider audience to actually have an impact. Whereas I don't, because I'm not looking for clouts. I'm not looking for fucking, to blow up in any goddamn space. Believe it or not, Brian and I, before he even got big, him and I spoke about coming on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
When I was living in Hawaii at the time too.
Mhm.
But as he started growing, I realized, yeah, I don't think I want to be a part of that shit. Yeah, I love you, Brian. I'm just gonna help you out in the background, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let me just send you money to talk some shit to these people. But back then, I also used to talk shit about the whores. Then I realized whores are not the real issue. Yeah, they're making things a little bit worse, but
Mhm.
what's the root cause of that?
Yeah.
Incels,
What's the
the
heart of the
simps,
problem?
the males.
Yeah.
They're literally the root cause of the rise of the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
It literally is. I used to be part of that, the simp culture, years ago before OnlyFans, though. But like the whole porn addiction shit, right?
Yeah.
Even though Brazzers would have like a free month trial, I'm like, fuck it, give me the most cream pies for $10 a month instead, right?
Mhm.
Like the nastiest shit you can think of, man. I
Yeah.
would pay extra for that shit. That was that fucked up and demented, right? With porn.
Mhm.
And so the issue is no longer I no longer focus. Yeah, there's some bitches that I would like to roast on there now, but the root cause of it is these simps.
Yeah.
So I'm in a network right now where it's called the Divisive Network. This guy, he's pretty well known in the Twitterverse, right? And he's trying to grow even bigger. He's having some heavy hitters on his network right now, and I like it. I'm glad to be a part of his, his beginning stage.
Yeah.
We're still in the roots right now before we blow up, and I see a lot of great things with it because I'm that guy that holds. No, I have no boundaries with how I talk, my demeanor, and I'm that guy for him. But
Mhm.
at the same time, I also bring, facts of the matter, statistics on,
Yeah.
the comparisons between men's health and women's health,
Mhm.
what men are, striving for, the suicide rates compared to like women in general. Like all I have to do is bring up the whole demographics, and it's still smaller than one small demographic of women when it comes to suicides, right? Comes to
Mhm.
divorce rates, people, men going to, really dark times, to the point where once they can't see their fucking kids, if they have kids in these divorces, they're literally in suicide watch. No one gives a
Mhm.
fuck about that because it's all about the women, right? And their feelings. Like it just sucks. That's why I'm very much against the marriages. That's why I never want to get married, but I will marry under the church,
Mhm.
And boy, I've
Yeah.
had relationships where women did not like that.
Yeah.
But they're not for me then. It's like, you want my money? Good luck, bitch.
Mhm.
So, but anyways, to the politics at hand here, I want more people to realize to have a bigger voice. You actually have a bigger voice than I do because you have been on a much bigger platform. And this is my message to you that I would help. What I would want you to help me out on
Mhm.
is the like within get men involved into your local politics to push that small little bill out. Even yourself, get involved, man. It's free.
Yeah.
It's and you're in a very liberal part. I try to be in local politics in Hawaii. They would kick me out because they would call me a race traitor too. I'm like,
Oh,
bitch,
yeah.
I'm like, I got money. I'm a capitalist, baby.
Yeah,
So
dude.
I started buying land in Hawaii. I started buying places and they hated that shit too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, bitch, I'm Hawaiian now, so I own property here. And they fucking hated that about me. But I was doing that in spite because they were extremely rude to me, condescending, was hurl insults at me, but I would never say anything rude about them. And it was never the actual Hawaiians that had problems with me. It's the fucking foreigners, these goddamn fobs, fresh off the boat, Indonesian flip fucks that think they're Hawaiian, think they're American, but they're nothing. They're living in Section 8 type housing and living off the government. So they're gonna keep voting blue. It is fucking awful, bro. Hawaii is getting worse. Like now, as we speak, prices are getting skyrocketed, and I really tried my fucking hardest to make a dent in politics there, and I just couldn't. They refused to hear me out. They did. Yeah. They're liberals are just, no matter how hard you crush them with facts in your own base reality, they're to the point where they are just deluded in their own world, that in that kind of part of the world of like ultra like socialist living, I don't know how to fight that, man. Like it was a very different, and I was by myself. There were other right-leaning guys there, but they were just too chicken shit. I could never have any backup. That's the worst part, when people are too scared. You know what I mean? Like that's why I need that message out there to fight within your own local politics. You see why, it's called California, and there's a lot of people leaving your great state of California right now. Even liberals are finding it too leftist now.
Yeah.
Like, make it make sense, but they're fucking trying to bring their politics to like Austin, Texas. Now Austin is all faggy.
Yeah.
And, bro, it's bad.
Yeah.
So I've been to Austin a few times and I fucking hate going there. But man, like that's
it's people that are
to help me bring my little message out to bigger platforms that you get on, to help me get the message out, get men out there, and say, hey, we want to make a change. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid, and don't bring that shit to work if you don't have to. But dude, it is what it is.
It's really just people are enchanted by what the government can give them. Because if I can get something for free, a lot of these people who are on the left side of the political spectrum, they understand that like if I say the right things, the government will continue to give me free stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't have to work for it. I don't like it's completely antithetical to what America was built upon. It was this idea that like, hey, if you do nothing, and this is a biblical concept, if you do nothing, you don't eat. Like you get nothing. But if you work
they basically bribe you, basically.
Yeah. So but if you work hard and like we're going to provide you with a land that is totally free, that prioritizes individual freedoms over government safety and government security. We're going to provide you with that environment, but it means that if you don't try, if you're not working, you'll die. But if you work hard, you get everything that comes your way. And for a lot of people, for people on the left side of the political spectrum, that pisses them off. Because they don't want to work. And so, I mean, the rise of feminism is really what instituted all of this kind of thinking, because all of a sudden women no longer had to rely upon men to provide for them, to be their protectors, to earn a living. Now they can be married to the government because the government can provide for them now. So you see it's a large reason why marriages don't succeed anymore, because there's so much government incentive, whether that is like the government will actually pay you money to be a single mom, or, hey, we'll side with you on court cases and you'll get money no matter what. Actually, one of my buddies, like he had a unsuccessful marriage, and he wasn't married. He just had he had a couple kids with the girl, and he's absolutely rough. And he lives in Cali, and absolutely,
man. He's getting destroyed.
Yeah, no, it's a really bad situation. And so all these people are incentivized to end the nuclear family, end marriages, but also to vote for people who are going to continue to give them government handouts. And it's just going to,
and it sucks because of feminism. Like you said, it's empowering these fucking women that it's okay, girl power bullshit, and you don't need no man. You can be a boss. Go to college. We got you, girl.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
next thing you know, all their ideologies match with the leftist ideologies, and they see that, and it fucks the whole goddamn ecosystem literally
Yeah. Yeah.
up, because it's not, when I say ecosystem, I mean birth
Yeah.
rates.
Hmm.
That we are an ecosystem. We need babies.
Yeah, dude.
Feminism is preventing that, to the point
Hmm.
where these older women are finally realizing, fuck, we had this all fucking wrong. Now I can't find no motherfucker. I'm not saying all
Yeah.
30-plus-year-olds can't have kids, but it's just riskier.
But yeah, no, it's riskier. It's less likely that you will get pregnant. Um, yeah, the government just has to lie to them long enough to where they buy into it and they get their votes. And then, like, eventually they just kind of leave them out to dry because they figure out sooner or later in life that I
Yeah,
bought this bill of goods and I'm left destitute. I don't have a husband. I don't have kids. I have no legacy. All my whole legacy is I spent my youth, all of my good years, uh, giving all of my time and energy to a company who does not care about me.
correct.
They could not care any less if I were to live or die. And that eventually hits them, and it's heartbreaking to watch. I've seen videos of ladies who like come to that realization, and it breaks my heart because
It,
they
it, it
bought that bill of goods and
they did,
they,
and it's leading them to damnation, basically. If you think
yeah.
about it, it literally is. I'm trying to find a document here that I really want to show you, and I wanted to. This is not taught in schools, and I really wish it was, because
Mm.
me being a minority, I used to play the victim card, the race card, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I have been in trouble with the law. This is after the military.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I have been in trouble with the law quite a few times. That's
Mhm.
not something to brag about. It's just it is what it is. I was a dipshit. But
Mhm.
every time I got arrested, I would play, oh, they're racist. They stopped me because I'm not white and shit like that.
Yeah.
And I was still liberal little bitch back then. I almost said cuck, but that never was entered my fucking mind.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find this fucking document so I can show you. It's basically a document that I had to learn firsthand in
Mhm.
regards to where this racist shit stems from. Let me ask you first while I'm looking for this.
Okay.
Where do you think racism came from in the United States of America? Where do you think it came from, and who has maintained it? We already kind of know who maintains it, but like, where do you think it actually stems from?
Yeah. Well, I think racism kind of just stems from human nature. Humans fall in human nature, not
Yeah,
how God created us to be. It's all about I love people who agree with me, look like me. People
right.
don't naturally surround themselves with people who are different than them. So automatically, you just assume that everybody who's like you is better. So you kind of have to break that habit. But in America specifically, uh, yeah, I mean, I know during the Civil War, it was the Democratic Party who was all for
So you know
slavery.
your shit.
Dude, oh yeah, yeah. I think
You know your shit.
history is the most important tool that we can use in the fight for politics, in politics, how we view the world, because we learn about all the mistakes people made, the reasons why certain countries rise and fall. It's probably, aside from mathematics, it is probably the most useful tool in our tool belt when it comes to business, how we do life. Yeah, bar none. So I know the Democratic Party was, and I still think that the Democratic Party has been the most racist party.
They still are.
Still
They're
are.
still holding that. They're still holding that Trump card right now. Literally, you
Hmm.
know how? By going to the black community saying, "Oh, you're oppressed. You can't do anything better than this. So we're gonna fund you
Yeah.
to be single mothers." It actually affects
No.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
minorities the most, because they're keeping them in
Hmm.
control
Well,
and saying,
we're going to
and saying
provide
other
you.
people that
Yeah.
are racist. The right are racist, right?
You can marry the government. We'll provide you with all the funds and whatever that you'll need, but we'll make sure you're still in poverty, so you need us. We'll
Correct.
provide you as much abortion as you could possibly fathom, so we can
Yep.
keep your population down. I mean, that was Margaret Sanger's whole thing. I hate black people, therefore I'm going to promote abortion. I'm going to provide Planned Parenthood and put it in minority communities to save the population.
I found it by Carol Swain.
Okay.
You ever heard of her?
I haven't, no.
But go ahead, continue. With
No,
your
yeah,
thing, and I'm gonna go
yeah.
ahead with
So,
mine.
yeah, the Liberal Party. Yeah, people who lean left, they are extremely racist in their policy making. It's why we see they don't want laws that prevent illegal immigrants from voting, because they know that if they can trick these people into voting for them, they will continue to gain more and more power. They treat them as idiots.
Yep.
And yeah, and they use like, hey, we are not going to restrict you from coming in our country, so please give us your vote, because if you vote for us, we're going to make it continually unrestricted borders. They use evil tactics and evil ways of doing business to gain votes from people.
So, can you see that document? Do I have to blow it up more?
No, I can't see it.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
Main conventional truth about the Democratic Party. Now, they don't teach this in fucking school. If they do, it's not enough of it. Me personally, I thought it was always the right, even though I grew up in Florida in the most conservative town.
Mm-hmm.
I used to also blame the whites for everything, even though I was surrounded by them. And I was the only colored kid in fucking town, mind you.
Yeah.
This is what they don't tell you. All right. And I like to bring this document up in particular because you can still trace it back, even from with other sources that you can try and fact check me on, because it's always going to lead to this bad boy.
Yeah.
So when you think about racial equality and civil rights, which political party comes to mind? The Republicans or the Democrats? Most people will probably say this is where that's kind of wrong, because a lot of people right now think it's the Republicans.
Yeah.
But it's the Democrats that came up with the race, with the slavery and the racist demeanor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chat should get active. Oh, thanks. Hey, Nick from whatever. Is that really you, Nick?
Is that actual you, Nick? Are you here?
Is that the actual Nick that works with Brian behind the camera?
I hope so, man. I like Nick.
That'd be cool.
He's a good guy.
So anyways, since its founding in 1829, the Democratic Party has fought against every major civil rights initiative, and has a long history of discrimination, which we still see to this day. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, opposed Reconstruction, founded the KKK, surprise, surprise, imposed segregation, perpetrated lynchings, and fought against the Civil Rights Act of the 1950s and 60s, which also was the beginning of the real second wave feminism.
Yeah.
So
did you hear?
People
have
don't
you
don't know
heard
about that?
Yeah, Joe Biden speak during that time,
bro.
It's rough, man. It's rough to listen to.
It ain't looking too hot for the guy, man.
Dude. Oh, yeah.
So in contrast, the Republican Party was founded in 1854. Anti-slavery. We both know that. Yep. And we're just going to skim through this really quick in regards to, why a lot of people are not so educated on who are actual racists till to this day.
Yep.
So people, especially the Democrats, and there's a lot still, even though me and my boy Derek Gibson, a politician up in New York, we have been bringing a lot of, blacks into opening up their eyes, right? Yeah, he has a much larger audience than I do as well, but him and we help each other out. And whenever I go on X Spaces, he invites me to. Yeah, they're very political heavy. He invites me to these ultra leftist ones where there's a bunch of, I'm just gonna say it, bunch of bitch ass niggas up in there, right? That are like so vile and rude. They just want to yell and talk over each other. They want to they call me and Uncle Tom, and then they try and bring up shit like, oh, who the fuck is this guy? Why did he say nigga? I'm looking at his picture. He ain't black. And then I'm like, bro, I'm more blacker than you. Shut the fuck up. I thought I was here to educate you, and here, let me educate you real quick before I start insulting you. I pull up this document every fucking time, and I read it word for word, and I provide them with the sources after the fact.
Yeah.
Bro,
Dude.
I am turning the blacks to the being conservatives, bro. Little by little, and Latinos too. Latinos, they're already kind of like base, but I'm talking about the thing is the ones that are coming that are already here legally. It's not much to convince them on because majority of the Latinos are very family oriented, so they're kind of based in reality. Some still lean Democrat because they still think the racist shit too.
Yeah, exactly.
But the illegals is the ones we have a fucking issue with because they're being led to vote left because we're giving you cell phones and they're incentivized, right? Currently being incentivized. And then I like to talk about this in particular, this document that we have here a lot. And a lot of people, well, I can't show this document on X Spaces because there's no, it's just pure mic only. But what I like to do is I like to cite the sources on this document, and literally like either a few days later, I have either death threats, it's like, oh man, I'm gonna come to your house for saying nigga and shit like that. I get them all the time. They're not gonna do shit. Or I get majority of people saying, damn, dude, thanks for opening up my fucking eyes, bro. Like, we did not know about the Democrats being this fucking openly racist they're saying it out loud without really saying it, right?
Yeah.
Like, just look at their policies on the Democrat policies that they have over minority groups, right?
Yeah.
And it is completely vile, disrespectful.
Yeah. Their whole political party is based upon you being ignorant of what they actually are trying to push.
And I was ignorant too about that.
Yeah. Well, it's like we're going to say all these nice things. Again, nice. We're going to say these nice things like, hey, we're all for equality. We're all we're anti-racist, but ignore what we're actually trying to push. Like, ignore like the policies we're trying to institute. Don't look at that. Just trust us that we're anti-racist, we're all this stuff. But when you actually look into history, when you look into the policies they're trying to push, it's like
the most socialist bullshit, dude.
It's not adding up.
Yeah, and and that's why they keep, like you said, the Democrats are incentivizing more of these leftist socialist fucking things, right? And that is that, and because more people, the easier people to mold on this are younger people. Yeah. So, and guess what? They're going to get those votes from those young kids because there's not enough people in the education system to teach them this kind of shit that I'm showing you right now. Yeah. And that's fucking
And the education system is funded
getting feminized.
It's funded by the federal government.
And that's run by the fucking liberals.
Exactly. The federal wing of the government is very much like, yeah, I could go on and on about federal power, and it's incentivized. Like, if they want to stay in power, they have to provide us with false information that shows us like, hey, the federal government's good. It has your best interest at heart, when in fact it definitely doesn't. So when Democrats are influencing the education system, what do you think they're going to push? They're not going to push this history, like accuracy, because it paints them in a very bad light. It shows like what actually happened, who actually was racist. Yeah. And if you start teaching that stuff, you're going to see a lot more people get conservative. And when people actually do learn and start looking into the history,
like this,
exactly, when people start actually looking into it,
so you can show people.
Oh yeah, dude.
Too. I love sharing this document, bro.
Yeah, man. It's important. It's important to let people know that the government lies to you. They are not incentivized to tell you the truth.
No, and they're not. Even on the right too. So don't get.
No, they're not. No, yeah, exactly. They really aren't.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
don't trust the government, man.
Oh man, these guys talking shit right now. Fucking bastards. Hey man, look, I gotta keep myself awake. God damn it. I mean, I'm already pretty awake. God. But I'm not gonna talk to you about my nuts, you sick fucking faggots. What kind of faggotry is going on in my goddamn chat, dude?
Bringing it up, dude.
I know, a bunch of fags up in this shit, dude. Thanks for stopping by, Nick. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, dude.
So Nick, the audio guy.
Oh yeah,
man, he's only 5 foot tall. He don't need no baby nose, man. Fuck off, Blue. You're supposed to be my mod and protecting me, bro. fucking bitch ass niggas up in here, bro. Is what I call them. No, but anyways, back to the education shit, right? There's I sent it to you, by the way, the document.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
And and that's another thing you can share out to people. Whenever people want to call you racist and shit, I'm like, bitch, I ain't racist. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I believe in real equality. But I mean, if you work hard enough, you'll get, what you want.
Yeah.
I used to think I was entitled to shit because I live in America. I'm like, fuck no, I'm not entitled to anything. I'm not entitled to shit. I had to work where I'm at to be where the fuck I'm at, to be speaking the way I am, to be donating money the way I do. And that I give my money to the much larger platforms that are more respected to actually get the proper voices out there. And for me, I'm just too vile to ever get on YouTube. So I'm not saying I would, I know how to tone myself down. I'm on other YouTube channels sometimes and I fucking hate it because I don't want to ruin their shit because they have large followings. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, God damn it, Glenn, do I have to fucking tone down, bro? I fucking hate it, bro. But anyways, but I want you to help me get these kind of messages out, right?
Yeah,
because this document alone should literally stump any like low educated, like liberal or Democrat, right? That may not know exactly into the policies, but this little document alone can basically tell you, look, no one's fucking oppressed. They're keeping you oppressed by incentivizing you, which you already know. But this document further entails that, guess what? It's the Democrats that are keeping the blacks enslaved with these enrichment of goods of why you should keep voting their way.
Yeah, man.
It's that simple. There is no I don't think, honestly, I don't think racism exists. I think it does. And I think people that are that bigoted is even when it comes to the population of them, it's even under the the alphabet community. Dude, I think it's that low. I think it's even that low.
Don't think. I don't think many racists, like true racists, are out there.
I have met one.
I have met them, but like they're rare. Most people I know, like they're not racist at all.
I didn't meet him actually, but I ran into him on Twitter, and I didn't know he was like an actual racist piece of shit. Because I saw his shit and I was like, damn, this guy's really cool. And he thought just like you and I, he thinks like us. Like, damn, this guy's based. And then he has a Rumble, and then I get on there, and I'm like, damn, this guy's all white power, like galore. And I started liking his tweets, and then he saw who I was. He did not know how I look like, and then you can see my bright smile in my picture. He's like, oh, what the fuck? You're brown. Man, this shit does. Your opinion doesn't matter. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker is really like hardcore white, like power.
He sticks to his guns, I guess.
Hey, I gotta respect that, man. Stick to that fucking white power shit, I guess. I mean, you're a true piece of shit. I'm not gonna support you.
Yeah, no way.
I never really did. I never gave him none of my money, but
but
I was like, God, he's Australian too. This guy looks like
okay.
He looks like a literal like inbred type Australian.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is about majority of these British people and Australians. They all look kind of like inbred. I don't know what it is. They're fucking like their damn teeth are like triangular like that. It's from hundreds of thousands of fucking inbreeding, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's
hey, look, I do have a lot of good British friends. All right.
Yeah. No,
I'm not gonna shit on you guys, but
exactly.
I'm just saying, like a lot of you guys are fucked up. So just saying. And let me just tell you, it's pretty fucked up. But this guy, you're literal, like, real bigoted fucking, I don't like your skin tone because it's not fucking white. And he was talking about guns and shit. He's like, I wish we could be like America. We would definitely take this shit over. I'm like, with you and your fucking 3 white power buddies, fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah, no.
It just baffles me that I mean, I ran into that shit. Yeah, but this is the kind of messages that I like to bring out to people like you. I'm not sure if you even knew about this kind of documentation, that I gave you. It's very difficult to find, and especially research it, to make sure everything is stated properly. Because I don't want to just go off just one thing. I like to do a deep dive into things, right? So I got to. And
yeah, man.
So that's just how I had to be to educate myself on, what I think is right. Like another degenerate thing that I had for a long time that I no longer hold anymore was abortion.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think it was okay because I paid
Yeah,
for a
man.
few of those.
Yeah.
Long time ago, my degenerate, like ultra degenerate days, like I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't want to have a baby with that chick, so I'm gonna pay for an abortion. Fuck it, no big deal, $60. Boom.
Yeah, dude.
But looking back, I'm like, fuck, bro, I could have had like 4
Dude.
fucking little black babies by now. But now I feel
Yeah.
kind of shitty about pushing that kind of degenerate behavior, because now I want to talk about leading the way on the red pill shit. Right?
Okay, dude.
I'm
Yeah.
not a red pillar. I'm a
Yeah.
realist.
Yeah.
Big
Same
difference.
here.
I like the message of the red pill, like
Mm-hmm.
the ideology behind it. I just don't like the people that promote it.
Yeah.
Right. For example, the actual grifters like, FNF and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've met
Yeah.
them in person. They're actually pretty decent people, man. I'm not going to shit
Yeah.
on them because of that.
I've actually
But
met people who've met them, and they're like super respectful.
they were cool. They when I have pictures with them and they wanted to keep
Yeah,
hanging out with
exactly.
me. I was like, why? Why me? They knew who the Beaten Cheeks was, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I'll send you some pictures of us hanging
Yeah.
out and
Okay.
shit.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Exactly.
but the thing is, I understand it's a business model, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
they're hurting right now to the
Yeah. They
point where,
definitely are.
because they got demonetized pretty heavily. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
promote that what they do as a human being, because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get your take before I tell you what I think about it. What is your take right now on the red pill content creators?
Okay.
And do you
Yeah.
consider Brian a red pillar or more dating-ish with red
Mm,
pill, incentives? Like,
yeah.
what do you think?
I don't really consider him as a red pillar. I guess if you're going by what the definition of red pill is, it's like, I mean, it's from the Matrix, so it's just like
Right.
it's
Being
being
based on
based in
reality.
reality. Yeah, exactly. So like, yeah, I guess from definitionally, yeah, I definitely would consider myself a red pillar.
Right. By
But
definition, me too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But with the crowd that it comes with it, it's like not necessarily, because
Yeah.
it
You don't
usually
want to
comes
associate
with.
yourself with that.
I don't I don't want to associate myself with that. It's just like I wouldn't like, I think that black people are equal to white people, but I'm never gonna be like Black Lives Matter.
Oh, hell no.
No, dude, because I would
Fuck
never
that.
want to be associated with that organization. So yeah, no, I don't consider myself a red pillar, but I don't think I think a lot of their messages are good. Like, I think men should be respected. I think women should be submissive. I think finding truth is important. Like, I'm all for that stuff, but all the extra stuff, like, you got to get an ungodly amount of money, sleep with as many chicks
Oh,
as you want
God.
to, because like you're supposed to be an alpha guy. Like, I don't know, dude.
It's
Not about that.
cringe.
It is. It
It
really
literally
is, man.
is.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not about that.
yeah, it's so fucking cringe. Like the
Mhm.
worst of them, I would personally, in my opinion, is Justin Waller. He
Yeah.
is like the most cringe fuck ever. That dude could beat the shit out of me, no doubt.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
I still have an opinion about him.
Yeah, dude.
And
Mhm.
I think he's the most cringe one. He was just on Michael Knowles, and I watched that whole interview. Have you seen that one? It just
I
came out like a
haven't,
week
no,
ago.
I haven't
So
seen it.
fucking cringe, bro. I
Oh,
was playing
really?
Diablo and watching that at the same time. And
Yeah. Ooh.
anytime he just spoke, I would just look over. I'm like, God damn, this dude, he's an alpha male mentor. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my
Ooh.
God. So, and then you have guys like that leading, men to demise, I guess, like to the abyss of nowhere is what I think.
Yeah.
And this is what I think about the majority of red pill content creators. I think they're the feminism of men.
I agree.
What I mean by that is they're just degenerates.
Yeah.
I can't judge because I'm technically still a degenerate. I'm just, not that bad of one. And I don't promote that.
Yeah.
Right. And they do, and yeah, they do. Literally, they do.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe in having a strong foundation with one woman, because I've already ran through chicks before and I never found any real satisfaction. Shit, I even had 2 sister wives, for fuck's sake. Juggling 2 girlfriends at once is the fucking worst, dude. I'm never doing that shit again. Oh my God. It sucks. Don't do it. What's up, Ed City? Nice to have you in chat. So anyways, they promote that kind of shit. And then And believe it or not, I was one of these guys back when I started making money. I
Mhm.
was reading the Rational Mail back in the day before,
Okay.
the red pill became what it is now.
Mhm.
And I was one of these incel bots before, that you see these angry, these men that have such, such an animosity towards women. I was one of those guys. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know what it's like, except the difference between me and them is I was still getting play, but I
Mhm.
still disliked the rejection factor, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, the good thing that I have back in me is I have no fear of rejection anymore. And
Mhm.
I don't have no social media. So I actually don't mind being out in public and getting rejected, which is
Yeah.
fine, man.
That's
Not
totally cool.
every fucking girl wants me. All right.
No, no, no.
Fuck no, dude. I am not every girl's fucking wet
Yeah.
dream. Maybe some fat chicks, bro. Even fat girls would turn me down. Like I
Dude,
would test the stereo out.
it's
It's
same with me, man.
crazy.
Not every woman wants me. So, yeah, dude, I'm totally cool with rejection.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah,
been rejected plenty of times.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ain't no
dude.
skin off your dick, right?
No,
Like
dude. I'm fine
it's
with it.
nothing.
Yeah.
So this is where I want. This is where I'm at with at a crossroads, right? How
Mhm.
someone like you like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of using you for this because you're gonna be my mouthpiece.
Yeah, dude.
Uh Why don't men, and now I can't even call them men. I'm going to call
Mhm.
these simps and incels something else. I'm going to call
Okay.
them males.
Yes.
The message I really have for them is where are their fathers? If they have fathers, how come they never led them to have successful relationships with a female, like
Yeah.
find a significant other? If their fathers were simpy and the moms ran the house, then how look to another person, maybe a brother that could be married and runs marriage well, or maybe a best friend or
Mhm.
cousin or uncle, something like that.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm trying to get at is deliver the message of stop seeking fucking online online validation from said red pillars that are leading you to to get lost, basically, right? Lost
Yeah.
in space.
Well,
And
yeah,
they're leading these increasingly more angry males out there
Mhm.
to like have a more animosity towards women, and
Yeah.
it's fucking scary actually,
Oh,
because there's
yeah.
a lot of
They
angry ass males out there.
just how we were talking about the government incentivizing liberals to vote their way. Red pillars incentivize guys to chase after things that don't really matter that much, money and chicks.
Yeah,
Like your goal in life is to gather as much money as possible, you can't take that with you when you die.
right.
Like it makes life somewhat easier, yeah. Like I can travel, I can afford nice things, but like it doesn't
Fuck that.
make you happy.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I I've been in places in my life where dirt poor, but I'm having a great time just because my relationship with the Lord, people I have surrounding me, uh,
yeah,
like other things that I value. And if like you're also chasing after a ton of women, not one singular relationship that has extreme meaning to you, then all that stuff will leave you empty in the end. And a lot of those guys who buy into the red pill, I guess, space, they
yeah.
realize after a while it's just like feminism. They realize after a while it leaves you with nothing.
They are literally these guys. They're literally keeping feminism alive.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
literally are, because they're
hmm
keeping women to be whores. They're making them even
yeah.
whorier or
Well,
making them
it's because
whores.
you're valuing women. Like women are
Devaluing.
well, no, well, yeah, it's devaluing, but their ultimate goal is to get as many women as possible. So it's like you're still putting them on this crazy high pedestal because that's like what you're chasing after.
Right.
And same thing with money. Like if that is your ultimate goal, like you're
Get a
putting it on
Bugatti,
a
bro.
pedestal. Yeah,
Get a
you're putting
Bugatti.
on
You'll get the badass chick in the world, right?
yeah, dude. I don't care about that kind of stuff. Like
I
I could go the rest of my life with little to no money. I could go the rest of my life without a marriage. Like that's cool, but like it's not my ultimate value. So like yeah, I think I heavily disagree with the red pill movement when it comes to those issues because they put importance and priority on things that are not that important.
correct.
Mhm.
And I was got in a little argument with another friend of mine a few days ago, and what the fuck was it about? It said something like, oh, what do you value more and whatever. I'm like, dude, you know what I value? The day that I have children.
Yeah.
That's what I value. That means I have replicated myself,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna be the father that I didn't have and just be there for my little nigglets, bro.
Oh yeah,
Like
man.
I want that. That's what I will value the
Dude,
most.
yeah.
Right now, it's just to find a woman trustworthy enough to
Hmm.
even bear my children that's not gonna fuck me
Yeah.
over.
Honestly,
And it's
having a bunch of kids is the most impactful thing you could do to change the world, because
exactly
it's like if you have, say, 5, 10 kids and you imprint them all with your ideology, how you view the world, conviction, you parent them like a man, you imprint that upon them and send them out into the world as like, yeah, that will affect the world way more than what I could do as one person. So
right. Because
as
our message is gonna be spread out through them, and then they're gonna even have even a bigger message because
yeah,
it's just gonna help you, like you said, it's
yeah.
gonna help out the
And
world.
then if I show them what it's like to have a good dad, and then they are good dads and good moms, like that will further exponentially increase their influence. So yeah, I think having kids is probably the most important thing that we can do as conservative men. And
Correct.
yeah, and
And it,
that's why the left is incentivized to promote abortion. Let's kill as many kids as possible. Hey, the earth is being overpopulated, stop having children. It's why they're pushing that stuff, because they don't want people that disagree with them multiplying.
and there's a bigger head at this that we haven't talked about is the people that are incentivizing is you already mentioned a little bit is the federal government, but
Yeah.
who's owning the federal government? BlackRock,
Yeah,
WEF.
dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was pushing
It's
this shit because they want
major
that elite stuff.
corporations.
Right, but BlackRock's the one that is still has their money tied to all this.
Yeah,
Larry
dude.
Fink, all these motherfuckers, like it's like, dude, whatever happened to the days of preventing this shit from happening back in the fucking Roman Empire days? Someone would get fucking, their throat sliced, like what the fuck ever happened? I'm not saying to go maybe that deep,
Yeah.
but but still, that shit would have been put to a stop once you started seeing shit like, wait, why the fuck are there less mental asylums now and more fucking trannies outside in the fucking streets, right?
Mhm.
So how the fuck can we put a stop to this? How? By making more babies to help us, push or kill this ideology.
Yeah,
And
dude.
then also, it's going to be difficult to even turn a fucking liberal is already, brain dead with that ideology, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I refuse to even date liberal women.
Yeah,
It,
dude.
it's just not going to happen, and,
It's
and
not worth it.
it's not worth it.
Yeah.
They're going to be dead. They're not going to be able to replicate because
Yeah.
they believe in women empowerment. They're going to fucking run the relationships with their simpy ass fucking boyfriend husbands that they're going to have,
Yeah.
and then it's going
Dude,
to be miserable.
that's yeah, I mean, if it say you were to marry, say a lady who's older or has like a liberal lean, while you're having kids with them, you have to juggle both tasks of trying to teach your kids what's right and wrong against what they're trying to teach your kids, as well as deprogramming their feminism. So it's like an insurmountable task. So you're going to leave with a bunch of kids who are conflicted about what to actually believe, because mom teaches it this way, dad teaches it this way. They getting a very unclear message. There's a lot of dissent in the home. There's obviously a difference between mom and dad. They're not one. They're not unified. So they have a very distorted view of what a relationship should actually be.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's extremely important to find somebody that you align with on all those major issues, like whether you want to have kids, religion, politics. Yeah, all that stuff is extremely important. And just like we talked about earlier, I bring that stuff up immediately.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste their time. Um, I
Time
got
is
stuff
money.
to
Money
do.
is time for me, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Like I'm like going in immediately on any woman that I'm interested in. It's
Yep.
like, all right, where do we align on this, right? I
Yep.
want kids, and if you're not a virgin, we're getting a paternity test. I don't give a fuck
Mhm.
if you only fuck one guy or two guys. My cutoff though for me to have children with a woman is 4.
Yeah, that's
That's
kind of where I am.
like I can't push more than that. It's really
Yeah, I know,
3.
really.
I will push 4. Only it's just like, oh fuck. But that is so hard right now.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it sucks, man. What the fuck? We disagree a lot, but
You still a homie.
what the fuck? And
That's crazy.
what the fuck do you disagree on, bro?
Yeah.
But anyways, regardless of that, like it just sucks, bro. Like I'm not trying to be, with a woman, and like I said, I've been with women that they were okay with the kids part, but
Mhm.
they were not okay with the paternity test. They called me
Yeah.
insecure. I'm
Dude,
like, I don't
I
know.
get
That
that
sounds
so
very fucking
often.
secure.
That's so often. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, the girl I'm talking to right now, that was like biggest green flag ever. I was like, I think that men should be able to get paternity tests for all of their kids, no matter what. And she was like, makes total sense. I would
Yeah.
totally support that. And I was like, really? I was
Paternity
like,
test, bro.
that's a pretty big turn on right there. Yeah, man.
Man,
Yeah,
but it's just
yeah,
like,
because
I'm a virgin.
I kind of explained it to her. I prioritize information over trust. I think trust is a good thing. It's good to have, but there's only one relationship that trust is, I guess, necessary or like the ultimate uh, priority, and that's with God. I will only trust God and His word infallibly. Uh, I know people are gonna lie, cheat, and steal. So I don't value trust in relationships nearly as much as other people do. I value information. The more information you can provide me, the more you will gain my trust. And the more you will prove to me that I can trust you. So when it comes to the paternity test, it's not a factor of like I don't trust you. It's I want you to prove to me that I can trust you with raising our children. I can trust you with how we build our home. I can trust you with all these other more important things because you are willing to prove to me that you are trustworthy and that you will provide me the information that I ask. And that makes people uncomfortable because
It does.
people like to get away with stuff.
Yeah, it's called lack of accountability.
Exactly, yeah. And
It
most women nowadays are blessed with a lack of accountability.
must be nice. Like if
Must
I
be
go,
nice, man.
yeah, I need
Dude.
I would like to be a woman. I'm just gonna get my dick cut off in the next few weeks and prance around like a bitch. But
Dude.
fuck, there was oh yeah. So when it comes to women's lack of accountability, I noticed you've been butting heads with some feminists. This is one thing I really wanted to bring up when
Oh,
you were
dude.
speaking to that fembot on your last appearance.
Yeah.
God damn, she's such a cutie too.
Mhm. Yeah.
But the way she spoke was, damn, this girl's really indoctrinated with that
Yeah,
feminist bullshit to the
dude.
point where she's literally is scared to speak her mind. Don't know why. She holds no fucking political, office. She doesn't like work for no big high tech government or,
No.
private sector job, none of that shit. So I guess what in your situation, me personally, I would have went and not go off on her. I would have been like, "What's the matter?" I would be pushing her to say what she really wants to say and just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
say
yeah.
it. I know Andrew was being pushy, but he's not there
Mhm.
in person,
Yeah,
unfortunately, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
And I feel
sadly.
like he would have gotten some answers
Dude.
out of her, even more
Yeah, yeah.
direct. But
Mhm.
like, I guess my question for you is, why didn't you?
Yeah. Well, so I wanted her, and I kept pushing this issue. I wanted her to see that the way she looks at analyzing situations, uh, I kind of explained to her. So when Andrew and I think through an issue, we can go through a logical procedure and say, okay, this assumption, we can make this logical jump to this next assumption, and we can make another logical jump to this next assumption, and we have a train of logic we can follow to where we end up. And we can give you answers for why we believe what we believe because it's logical, because we've ended up in this place because of this other stuff that we agreed back here. So when it comes to her position, it's very illogical. So why can't you do the same thing we do? If your position is so right and it's so logical and it's true and it's what people should follow, then why can't make those logical steps? So it was during the discussion on should women be drafted in the military. If your ultimate goal is to achieve equity, not equality, equity, then in this extreme circumstance, if your ultimate goal is equity, then you should totally, without thinking, be all for saying, yeah, I agree. Because logically speaking, that's where you should end up. But I pushed that issue because I wanted her to realize that she's not logical with these thoughts.
No,
That
it's all on her feelings.
no, it's all based upon feeling, and that's no way to base your worldview on. So feminism is based upon feeling. It's not based upon logic.
No,
So
never. It has never
exactly.
been.
It's never been based upon logic.
Yeah, because if you read, the backstory of where feminism stems from, it's from beta ass males that
Yep.
pushed this back in the late 1700s when
dude.
America was getting founded, right? So basically the fight against it right now we're in what I call the guinea pig stage, right? Of how feminism is tolerated, I guess you want to say.
Yeah.
But this is not an experiment that's going to last very long. You
No,
can
dude.
see it. You can see it in statistics right now with the birth rates, how more women are joining the workforce, and the only benefit is guess who's getting the most benefits with women working is the federal government. You know why?
Yep.
That's more people they can tax and fund their own pockets.
Mhm.
They don't see that shit, and they're just
Yeah.
using the fuck out of these women.
Well,
And
so you know how we're talking about the liberal liberal leaning people. They say all these things that sound nice. They make you feel good. Who is susceptible to that stuff?
young women.
Women. So when you say all these feel good things and it's devoid of logic, but it sounds really nice, it feels good, you're going to get a lot of women to agree with you. So they capitalize on women's ignorance in these issues because they have a tendency to think with emotion. Now, God
100%.
designed them that way, but that I'm actually of the opinion. I think Andrew is also the opinion. I don't think women should vote. I'm against women's voting.
I think women should vote within the confines of their husband.
Yeah. So I think that. So this is my point of view.
Man, yeah.
I don't think women should vote. I think that families should have more vote than single people. I don't think women who are single should vote, but I
kind
think,
of agree there. I'm a single guy, so I have to disagree there.
I know
what you mean, though.
I think that families should have like 2 votes. So if you're married, I think that you should have 2 votes that count because you got 2 individual people. I think we should incentivize marriage. So if you get more of a vote for being married, I think that's a great thing.
Yeah,
but
I mean, the government should incentivize
exactly. I think that's a simple
couples.
way to do it.
And I like Hungary's play with what they're doing. If you have more than 3 kids, you're basically tax exempt for life, kind of thing.
I think that's great.
That is fucking awesome, man. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I haven't been to Eastern Europe in a long time, and I'm thinking about just fucking, checking. I'm already 97% checked out of American dating. Now, that's not me saying but the thing is, I want to lead with this segue when it comes to passport bros.
Okay, dude.
Oh yeah. This is a good topic because I have a lot of people that have come to me, and I fought against. I wouldn't say I'm not fighting against passport bros. I fight against the people who think about becoming passport bros. I think I think people that have never left their zip codes, let alone their city or even state or the states, should be passport bros until they know what their areas are like first. And then if they keep getting rejected, then look outside America.
Yeah, I agree.
That's my opinion, because there is a lot of great women in America. Don't get me wrong. There's more great women than what you see on the internet. They only show all these fucking sluts,
Yeah.
for entertainment purposes.
Yeah,
But
who
they are
who
more
are you
great
gonna
women.
see on the internet? It's people who put themselves on there. So it's
Right.
naturally
The
gonna
loud
be
bitches.
it's gonna be those chicks who seek attention. It's gonna be those chicks who stick their butt in the camera. And yeah, dude, you're not gonna see the traditional women on the internet
Of
because they
course
don't
not.
seek attention.
Yeah, I actually made a post on Twitter about this, and I got shit on about all these feminists, dude.
Yeah, dude.
But the thing is, all I said was, traditional women are not, are never going to be online, whether they're
Yeah.
married or single. They actually have more on their place to focus on than being terminally ill online. Literally, they have morals and standards to uphold, And then I shit against majority of the women on Twitter, but there are some women that are pretty based in reality that are actually conservative married women. But you know what they do? They're not seeking attention or validation,
No, dude.
and they're under the guidance of their husbands. So
They
damn
get that
well
they get that attention and validation from their husband,
exactly.
where they're supposed to get it.
Exactly. And then their husbands are all on board with them. Like, all right, honey, why don't you go shit on these feminists? Okay, yes,
Exactly.
baby.
Yes, let's do it.
I'm all
Yeah.
for that.
Mhm.
But then you see the fake trad cons like Ashley St. Clair's and Lower and Southern bitches.
Mm.
These bitch. Oh, by the way, they both blocked me on X. I had a lined up
Really?
debate with both of them.
Oh,
Then they blocked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna get
Classic.
fucking infamous there.
Mhm.
Oh man, but they did. Yeah, they didn't want. They saw who I was associated with, and they just said, "Fuck this guy." I'm like, "Oh fuck, all right." But anyways, we have an issue right now in America: is these women becoming traditional online, but they don't hold any traditional values whatsoever.
Yeah.
So my goal right now with my divisive network that I'm a part of is ending what you call what I coined is the simpidemic. I coined that bitch.
Yeah.
Pretty proud of that.
Okay, nice.
And so what we need to do is not attack the stupid bitches, but attack the damn simp army that they hold. You destroy them and dox them, bro. It's game over for them. They no longer have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And when they have no voice, they have no forward momentum into whatever the fuck ideology they have. I started attacking people on Ashley St. You familiar with Ashley St. Clair?
Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar.
Yeah. She's a fucking dumb whore. And I never insulted her and her on her page, but I called her out on her bullshit. I was just like, you're just a fucking feminist in red clothing,
Mm-hmm.
And then I listened to some shit. It was like fucking so long ago before she blocked me. I can't remember what I said, but it was directly, attacking not just her beliefs, but attacking her fucking simpy ass army.
Yeah.
And a lot of them came at me and started threatening me. Unbeknownst to them, this is where my expertise comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a cybersecurity guy. I know how to hack and I know how to get information that you'll never fucking realize that I get. So when I get death threats from anybody, I don't give a fuck where you're from. But I don't dox them by putting the shit online for the world to see. What I do is I do a scare and a promise tactic. I scare them first. They don't get it, then I promise them with something bad. I scare them first by basically I gather their information. It takes me a few days. Yeah, all they have to do is message me one time.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucked. And then what I do is I find out who they are behind these avatars. Majority of them, they're hiding behind a fucking avatar. They don't show their face. They're too bitch. And then I find out who the fuck they are. And what I do is I find out, and then I send them their social security number. Bam! That's it. Then they block me and stop talking to me after. Oh, bro. When you get PII information, my friend, they are in a world of hurt. They're like, damn, who the fuck is this guy?
Mm-hmm.
I love that about my life. I'm like, I'm an alternate like that. And then
it's because those people hate the sunlight. When you expose them, because sunlight is it's the ultimate equalizer. It shows you who you are. It shows you what you really believe. And when people shy away from it, that's when they know. That's when they know they're in the wrong. They just have convinced themselves otherwise.
Yeah, that's why I love the online trolling, right? Me, I like to consider myself a troll, but I like to debate more online, and I call these people out to come on my Rumble, or I go on their platform, whatever. I like to have more liberals on, but they're always too scared. I don't
Yeah.
know why. I'm not a great debater.
It seems like a trend.
Yeah. I had a libertarian once, but she was too based on reality too. So I'm like,
Okay.
fuck.
Yeah. Dang
God
it.
damn it. You're not really a libertarian. Shut the fuck up. You think just like me. You are a little bit, you do like to sleep around a little bit more, but you're not too libertarian. But I
Yeah.
understand her concept of libertarian ideology. But
Mhm.
anyways, the whole thing is, again, you and Andrew are gonna be my big voices, bro.
Mhm.
My biggest thing is Brian has said this, but he doesn't do it enough. My best question that I always ask any feminist, and they never have anything to say after, and that literally shuts them the fuck up. What are you currently oppressed about right now in the Western world? That right there alone, they'd never have an answer. I'm still seeking an answer, bro.
Yep.
I am still seeking a fucking answer. Literally, you can ask that to any woman that they calls himself a feminist. What are you currently oppressed on? That girl was pressed on that you were just on.
Yeah.
She tried to think of shit, and I'm just like,
Dude, it's always like trying to watch them, like their gears turning to think of anything, and it's like they grasp at straws, and you're like, oh, come on, dude. Like, this is embarrassing. Just admit that you're not oppressed. We can move on with the conversation.
right.
But again, it's because feminism is not based in logic; it's based in feeling. So
Always.
when you present them with a logical argument, like, okay, so you say you're oppressed, show me where, provide me evidence, because logically, if you say something, you should provide evidence for it. And they
Right.
can't do it because I feel like I'm oppressed. It's like, okay, well, that seems like a you problem.
Yeah. And how do you feel oppressed if that's the
Yes.
case? Like,
Mhm.
what were some rights taken from you? Did some guy hurt you because you're a woman? Like, tell me, how do you feel oppressed? Even
Yeah.
those two things that I just mentioned are not really oppressed things either. So, how do you
Yeah.
feel oppressed? Tell me
Mhm.
how you are oppressed right now. And entitled America, you being born in America, how do you feel oppressed? You look fine to me. It looks like you took a shower. Were you oppressed from taking a shower? Like,
Yeah.
if so, by who? Your parents?
Dude,
Yeah. Well, like,
it's
I can
because,
keep going with this.
yeah, man, like, I lived in a third world country. I know what oppression looks like.
Me too. I come from
Mo-
Honduras. That is real fucking mud
I
huts,
have
bro.
I have seen oppression, and usually it comes at the hands of government.
Exactly.
Dude, I have seen real oppression, and when people talk about that stuff in the States, I'm just like, you guys have no clue what you're talking about.
No, they've never been outside their fucking little basements. They don't know shit. They
No,
just
dude.
Google everything, thinking they know
Yeah.
everything. That's
Mhm.
another thing about these destiny cucks and all these fucking retards. They think they know everything and they don't know shit. They
No,
never
dude.
experienced anything. They just know how to read well and talk over people really fast.
Yeah.
That's why they're like the worst debaters, the most like
Yeah.
bad faith arguments all the time, man.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it's just the fucking worst. And now I want to get to one final topic
Okay.
for the night.
All right.
Why the fuck are these? Someone brought it up in a chat, and to remind me,
Mm-hmm.
why the fuck are these current stupid bitches right now getting blown up by these simps that literally amount to nothing in society?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The girl that dropped bitch ass nigga, and then now the huck to a girl. What in the fuck kind of society are we living in, dude?
Dude, it's you
These
actually
are
kind of
people
touched.
around your age. This is people
I
around
agree.
your age group.
Yeah, they're people my age. So you actually kind of hit on this a little bit earlier, and you're talking about dads who are not raising their sons, their kids well. I think that's really where it all comes back to. I think dads have the largest impact in their children's lives. There's so many statistics that point that truth out, but I think it's because we've in our culture we've kind of adopted this delayed adolescence mindset. So it's like you turn 12 years old, and all of a sudden we just, for some reason, we give 12 to 18, well, it's getting pushed up, it's 12 to like 25-year-olds the license to act like children for like 17 years or 18 years. And it's like, why do we do that? Why do we allow them to do that? So it's like, why do we not teach them to be adults from like the age of 12 onward, so that when you get to the age of 18, they know, one, how to be a man or a woman. They know what their role is. They know, okay, so if you're a man, how do you treat a wife? How do you lead a family? If you're a woman, okay, how do I treat my man? How do I
How to be
respect him?
feminine.
How to be feminine? How to be modest? How to submit to leadership? Like, when they get to the age of 18, they should be in the place where they could be ready to get married. They should be mature because their parents have raised them that way. Usually what parents do is they put that off and they just kind of figure, the world will raise them. I can put off my parenting. I don't have to actually do my job, and eventually they'll just figure it out. And this is where we get all this stuff from, because they were never taught by their dads. So these simps that are out there, they never taught by their dads, like
They
what
have
it
no
means to
real
have.
role models.
They have no they have no conviction. They haven't been shown by their parents the reason we don't go after chicks that just throw themselves out on the internet, provide us easy access to sex. We don't go after those chicks because there's all of these devastating consequences. And so when you're not told that, when you're not provided that by a father figure, you have to figure that out for yourself. And you're fighting the male urge, all of that testosterone, all of those hormones that say, I want to reproduce. Like, you're fighting against biology and that sinful inclination to chase after things that are not good for you. So you have to have someone teach you what you need to be doing. And if you don't have a father that does that, you're like hamstringed from the start. And it's a miracle if you actually end up getting to a place where you come to that realization. But it's usually after you've made like an ungodly amount of mistakes.
Like me.
Yeah.
Literally. That sounds just like me, literally. Like,
Yeah.
It took me a lot of fucking mistakes to be where I'm at now.
And
And I didn't have, like you said, I didn't have, well, what you pointed out was I didn't have a father figure.
yeah.
And it showed very much in my attitude and my demeanor. And you know you obviously had your father to look up to, seems to be your role model, right? If I'm wrong, let me know.
No, 100%.
And that's a beautiful thing. You know who my role model is? And I don't, fuck, I'm not gonna say his name because he's gonna brag about this shit. But I'm just gonna, I will just tell. He's one of my close friends. He's not an online guy. None of that. No one like that. It's just it's basically one of my best friends who I met in the military. And when I first met him, I was a lying, pathological liar, piece of shit, trying to act cool when I wasn't, kind of guy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, he's still stuck through it thick and thin, man. Him and another friend of mine, still to this day. They saw, he's just entertaining. That's just Berto telling his Berto tales kind of thing, you know? They even had a fucking dumb song about that. And, but no matter what, they stuck it through. You know, we did our degenerate behavior for so many years. And I never would have thought this one particular best friend of mine would be the one I literally look up to now. He is basically the base foundation of what I want to have. And I'm glad he's in my life. He's like a brother to me. And he literally he was an atheist too. Now he believes in God and everything. And then the reason why I look up to him the most is because he has a family. He's no longer a degenerate piece of shit. He doesn't go out and do drugs like we used to together back in the day, you know? I don't do that anymore, obviously.
Yeah.
I really don't. I have to fucking reinstate that shit. But in reality, he has 3 beautiful little fucking kids. And you can see how it changed just from the first child he had. And it took me a few years to really have this kind of sink in, right? Literally took me a few years to realize, fuck, I do want that. By the way, I almost got the snip before even having children years ago. Thank God I never did.
Yeah.
And looking at him is one of the best examples that I have in my life. and he taught me, you know, the foundations of a family. And you can tell he is the fucking leader. His wife, submissive as shit. She's the most beautiful soul too, bro.
Oh
She is
yeah.
like, she's such a beautiful thing, man. She's
It's
so
funny how
funny.
that works. The
And
women who are submissive are usually the most beautiful, like
she,
inside and out.
dude, she is great, always glowing, you
Oh
know.
yeah, dude.
But she doesn't, she was never raised in a modern America either. She
Mhm.
was raised on Nepal. So
Okay, yeah.
Hindu
There you go.
background, right? So
Mhm.
she has a really thick, you know, fucking curry accent, and it's so funny. I always make fun of her accent. I'm like, oh, thank you,
Oh
come again.
yeah.
Uh, and he's half Dothead,
Oh
actually. So
really?
funny how that worked
There you
out.
go.
He's
Yeah,
half Puerto Rican, half Dothead,
yeah.
but yeah, he's half Spick and Dot. So, but anyways, in seriousness, no, I have been learning and still am learning from him. And
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of males in these spaces don't have that. That's why they're seeking some sort of you know, coach guidance, some sort of guidance from online content creators. And I'm
Yeah.
very much against that shit. When I hear dating coach and all this bullshit, I'm like, oh, shut
Mm-mm.
up.
Yeah,
What
no.
qualifies you to do that? Like,
Yeah, for real.
I qualify myself better than you. And then I will never call that. I never call myself that shit. And I definitely
Dude.
don't charge hundreds of dollars for fucking 15 minutes of your time. I will talk to you for free, bro.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about that when you hear that?
Dude,
Like,
it's so sad because like I think I think if you're a man or a woman who understands your role, I think if you're biblically grounded, uh, if you know truth, if you know who you are in relation to God, if you know how to walk with wisdom and integrity, I think that stuff naturally comes about. You'll naturally understand how to relate to somebody else because you have that inclination inside of yourself to want to find a helpmate, to want to find that leader if you're a woman. So I think that that stuff naturally occurs. So it's you got to do the groundwork. You got to build your foundation so that when you start looking for somebody to spend the rest of your life with, you don't have to be building that foundation as you're building the house at the same time. It's like that's like a recipe for disaster. So if you can be solid in who you are as a man before you ever start entertaining a woman, that's why I think if parents started raising their young boys to be men from like ages like 12 to 18, like really challenging them, really putting their feet to the flames and preparing them so that when they got to a mature age, so 18 years old, they'd be ready to go. We would see a lot less of this terrible behavior. And
yeah, and this just sucks. There are a lot of guys that I feel bad for. I don't know if you ever been to like any gatherings of red pill gatherings. I've been to a few,
oh, really?
and yo, dude, it was super fucking cringe. They're
Mhm.
like, I feel like I'm in a different planet, and
Yeah.
you see these like Chad looking dudes. I'm like, what the fuck? And they have legit social issues speaking with just not just the opposite sex, but just you're, you know, another human being. And you
Yeah.
can see why they're so angry in these chats and shit like that, right?
Mhm.
And like, and then like, I'll give you an example. I went to the first ever live Fresh and Fit with Valuetainment last year. I took a friend with me.
Yeah.
And I went there because I know Adam Sosnick, and he hooked me up. He gave me a nice, discount on VIP tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool guy, dude, by the way. Adam's
Mhm.
fucking awesome. And so when I went there, before I got there, I like to dress up. I'm a bow tie
Yeah, yeah.
guy.
Oh,
I
cool. Yeah,
love.
yeah.
I like to
Nice.
be the loudest without being loud, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But some people recognize me a little bit because if you see my avatar on YouTube, I have a bow tie on, and
Mhm.
you can see my face clear as
Yeah,
day a little
exactly.
bit.
Yeah.
So I wanted to maintain that image, and I did. And when people met me, they did not know I was the Beaten Cheeks, but they said, you look very familiar. You know, all these guys were talking to me. And then whenever I outed myself as Beaten Cheeks, when I got up and talked live in front of everybody, everyone fucking roared up in applause for me. I was like, fuck, I didn't know I was gonna be this infamous or famous, whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So at the end of it, they had a VIP hangout. It's all the girls from the panel
Mm-hmm.
and just the VIP guys. There was just not many.
Yeah.
I was there to meet Patrick Bet David and the other guys,
Mm-hmm.
the hosts and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't there trying to get laid. I mean, if I didn't mind if it did. All right, it was whatever.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the women legit liked my aura about me because I like to be social. I've always been a sociable guy, and I'm very direct. I cut through the bullshit. There was a girl that these guys had a huge crush on that was part of that panel that night, and everyone was very scared to approach any of the chicks. It was weird. It was like one of those school dances from middle school where like the guys are on one side and the girls are on the other side.
Yep.
It was literally like that. And I'm the only one talking to all these females. And honestly, it doesn't take much to just say hi to a woman, bro. And they are literally so scared of rejection. Everybody's watching me like a bunch of cucks. And just watching me work talking to these girls. I wasn't even really like trying to get laid I was just being myself, bro.
Yeah.
And I ended up going home with one of them. It was never my intention, but everyone see me leaving a cab with her, and then off we went, and I read the Bible to her, and there was a lot of blasphemy later on that evening. But the whole point is they looked at me as some fucking god, that came above, came down and said, look at me, get laid that easy. No, it is not that easy, and you have to accept rejection. That's the problem we have with these fucking weak-ass males. They're scared and they're antisocial. They are literally terminally ill online. And we need you, Mason, to get these guys out of their asses, out of their houses, out of their fucking chairs, get them. And some of these guys were studs, mind you. So they're obviously working out, but they have no real guidance. And I guess what I want you to do is kind of like, hey, man, don't go to those fucking platforms charging you that shit. Go to your nearest best friend, uncle, brother. If your father's failing you, which he clearly is, because that's why you're in these spaces shitting on women when they really are not the ones you should really hold accountable for. It's people like you, the weak males, not you in particular, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I need you to be that because they just come and troll me after, I'm just like, fuck, and so I ain't shit to them, but guess what? You are a good voice in that.
Yeah. I mean, I understand like the opportunity I've been given. I think it's important.
You're a great segue into this. I want you to be my voice. Andrew's doing my voicing on a different level, man, and I love that shit.
Oh yeah,
but if I can get more people like you and him, based in reality, calling out these fucking the simps and shit. Oh my fucking god, bro! Yeah, dude. It'll be heaven on earth again. Women are all these OnlyFans chicks will lose their business. You can't get any better. And I need you to do me a favor and tell Brian to get more regular chicks on. No more fucking OnlyFans bitches, dude. And cut his hours down from 9 fucking hour pods to like 3 or 4. I can't. I'm not staying up that late, dude.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I can't do that shit. I can't stay up that late. And then I have to take a shit in the middle of the night and he's still on. I'm like, I'll just send a super chat, real quick. Yeah. I'm like, fuck this shit, dude. Like, I can't do it. I can't support that. I can only support the first 2 hours and shit on the simps and I guess, tangle with the women on there, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, bro. Dude, this is the fun. End of the little segment. If you have anything you want to ask me, now's the time, bro. I don't want to end it just yet unless you have something particular you want to ask me about. Right now, the table's all yours. Even though you could have cut me off, I let you do that. It's an open thing, man. It's not a debate, So
yeah, dude. No, I appreciate you having me on, man. Appreciate letting me talk about things unfiltered. I don't have Brian being like, let's move on to the next topic.
No, I don't play that shit. I ain't no pussy, dude. Sorry, Brian. I'm not. You're just too bitch-like. I love you, Brian, but he's never gonna see this shit anyways. But
no, I know exactly. No,
if he does, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, he probably thinks I'm a nobody, which I am in a content creation space, but I like to
Yeah.
keep it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But behind a lot of these big voices is actually me, Andrew
Mm-hmm.
being one of them. I'm not saying everything he says is from me. No,
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 fuck
no,
that.
no.
No. But I do agree with a lot of his shit.
Yeah.
But but I
Yeah,
want
man.
you to be that next voice for me and other guys like me
Dude, yeah.
that
And I've kind of found a really going into this special warfare thing. Like most of those guys are
let's
really
do
young.
let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
It's not about physicality, it's about
Mm-hmm.
mentality. It's about whether you can suffer under very, very dire circumstances. You got to have a tough mind for that.
Yeah.
Now, that whole special warfare, this is all brand new to me. What you explained to me,
Mm-hmm.
like when I told you the AFSEs, you're like, "Fuck, no, shit has changed."
Yeah, it's changed.
I'm like, "Fuck, dude." And I mean, I'm pretty sure everything's more or less the same from back when I was in.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
there's no reason beating around the bush. I had friends that went through the combat control place, and then I had other ones that went, the route of the PJ route.
Mm-hmm.
But now you said there's like 5 different things to do. Didn't fucking realize that shit, But everyone still had their specialties in communications, weather, but it was all still within one of those teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we did touch about this earlier, and I do want to circle back, definitely for sure. The
Okay.
military stance that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I do not recommend anyone to join a military unless it's probably in that career field that you are focusing on when it comes to special operations. But I'm still against the military because it's still run with the federal government pushing a fucking bad agenda out. Because no matter what, even you can be the most alpha fucking, squadron and fuck shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Still have to come back and see all these fucking, Excel spreadsheets of why fucking the alphabet community should be accepted no matter what.
Yeah.
You're still going to see that regardless of the career field you're in, and they're going to be pushing. It's going to get more gayer and more faggy. And that's why I don't recommend it. I want more men to be more blue collar work. I want more men to push that shit because guess what? It's more or less the same. Yeah, I learned my trade from the military being in cybersecurity, but you don't need a degree to succeed. And
No, you don't.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you're an engineer. What kind of engineer are you?
Mechanical.
Fucking awesome. That's badass, bro. Did you go to college for it, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I did.
College is, again, waste of money. But you at least you learned something because you're making, you're making a trade out of it, right? But the whole point is of me against military is it's just not the same as it was when I went in, man.
Yeah.
It's just too woke. And I would say wait for Donald Trump to instill his policies and see if that takes into the presidency after. That's all.
I understand like the gripes people have with it. I don't recommend the military for everybody. I don't think it's like a blanket. Oh, I think this is a great thing. I think as I've looked into the career field, it's a lot of what I want to do. It sounds like
it's a passion that you really want to do. You want to save lives. That's what really
I want to be
great.
Like, I want to be the guy on the end of that rifle or making those decisions because I know I can have a level head about that stuff. It's a tough place to be, but I don't want somebody else who's like off their rocker, probably has some kind of mental illness. Like, I don't want them making those crazy choices. I think I have the temperament and the ability to
I feel like you'll be all right.
Decisions. I think
so.
So.
Like you'll be all right.
And so most of the guys that are in the career field currently that I've met, they'll come out to our dev sessions, our development sessions, and they'll talk to the guys, and they usually gravitate towards me. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but it's
I know
like,
what you mean, dude.
Exactly.
They're kind of like little bastard, and you easily could be.
Yeah. But they gravitate towards me because a lot of the career field is, especially like the people who are running the pipeline, they're trying to figure out, would I want to work with this guy? Because there's a high likelihood that you probably will. So a lot of these guys, they're giving me like the inside track. They're kind of letting me know on the what happens on the ground floor, kind of like tips, tricks, because they're like, this is a guy I would want to work with. So I think that I have a good chance of making it. I know I'm not ignorant to the statistics on the attrition rate, but I think I have a good chance. I know if I get the whole way through the pipeline, I think I would do the job real well.
18 months, baby.
18
No big
months,
deal.
man.
No
Yeah,
big deal.
really.
No, but yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you go that route, I pray that you stay safe.
Mhm.
And I want you to stay in touch with me, making sure that you're fucking
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be safe. And I'm gonna be having more panels because I know fucking more people wanted to join, but I was like, nah, motherfucker. This is me and Mason only.
Yeah, yeah.
And this
Yeah,
is
dude.
and then after the fact, once you get to know me, who I am, how my personality, now
Mhm.
you get to see the cheeks.
Yeah, dude.
And
Yeah, dude.
yeah, bro.
Oh,
This is a
yeah.
good talk, man. We
Yeah, it was
definitely,
good.
I'm not gonna lie, I just want to do like 2 hours, but we just kept going, bro.
We just kept going, man.
This is good. This is a natural conversation between two
Yeah.
guys getting to know each other. And what are the purposes of what how can we help society out is what I like to base it on, right?
Yeah, man.
Like, what can we do to help it out, make it better for not just ourselves in our current day and age, but for the future, right?
Yeah.
So I told you to get in local politics. I told you to fucking find a good woman to have a bunch of cute little chads after,
Oh, yeah.
and focus on telling weak ass males to stop focusing on content creators for guidance,
Yeah.
and be
Yeah,
that
man.
voice of reason, So call out these
Mhm.
feminists and ask them what they're oppressed about. That's it. Nothing big,
Yeah.
So thanks, Mason. I appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate you
And
having me, man.
anywhere anyone can find you. I don't know if you have another YouTube or fucking Instagram, Twitter, what the
Yeah,
fuck.
you can find me on Instagram, MG Barbell. It's mostly powerlifting content, but I'll probably start posting stuff about special warfare. Yeah, if you want to peek into my life, yeah, go to MG Barbell.
That's right. Hey, better have some thirst traps in there.
Definitely, man. You got me. There's a few videos of me deadlifting like 700 plus stuff like that.
Damn. I don't think I've deadlifted over like 300 pounds. I'm a little guy, bro. I'm only 5'8", man. I try to get big ones, and I was like, man, I don't like maintaining this shit.
It's rough, man. It's a hard job.
I'll stay skinny.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stay that way. I just run every day, maintain my libido, and that's it.
Yeah.
So thanks, Mason, for stopping in to the Rumble.
Again, appreciate it.
I'm definitely I'd like to have you back on later on. I know I have other people that would like to talk to you too, but I'm not gonna do that, blindsiding you like that. So I'll definitely be giving you a heads up on who they are and whatnot. If you, if you would be welcome to join in the future.
Dude, yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm down.
I appreciate it. All right, man. Anyways, thanks. Oh man, all this chatting. Oh my god, yo motherfuckers talking some shit. Always this way, man. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Until then, Raw is law, everybody.
Boys.
Fuck yeah.